Kevin O'Leary has quickly become one of my least favorite people on this planet. He is unfathomably cringe, and yet he is still extremely vocal and can't stop chirping about his 40,000 acre data center in Utah. He's doing this nationwide humiliation ritual where he's going on like every platform imaginable, just be clowning himself publicly. He is an embarrassing specimen. He is a disgusting fungus worm man who can't help but yap and squeal about garbage that he is just truly clueless on. Like, he is actually an observably dumb person. And he continues to try and LARP as an American, despite not even being a U.S. citizen. He is Canadian. He has not even bothered to become a U.S. citizen. Yet he's willing to go around preaching about American values and trying to, like, dictate how policy should be. He's singing the blues about, oh, this is so bad now. People don't support my 40,000 acre data center in Utah. Those aren't real Americans. Those aren't real patriots. Those are Chinese spies. When he himself is not a fucking American. He is a fraud. This guy is a actual miasma of cringe, filth, and greed. And also, he is a billionaire. Why hasn't he just done the $1 million enema infusion into Trump's butthole to get that nice golden toilet paper to be just a citizen through money? He hasn't even bothered to do that. Genuinely, I can't fucking stand this guy. He is just trying to pillage and loot this country through his projects, most notably his 40,000 acre data center that's being brute forced through in Utah. And he just recently went on a couple of platforms and continued to make a fool of himself, so I'm going to shoot spitballs at him now for that. This guy is just more fake than Kristi Noem's husband's tits. This guy, there's not a single genuine real thing about him.
Elevate Strategies, also a cell operating inside of Utah. Gabby Finlayson. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you?
Well... Hi, hello. It's me, Gabby Finlayson.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, who would want us to stop building our electrical grid? Which adversary would want that? There's only one. It's China. So what I think is happening, and I got my guys to go a deep dig into the IP addresses, and here's what we found out. This is fascinating. We found 2 cells inside of Utah. Elevate Strategies. Gabby Finlayson. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you? So what I'm doing right now is, after getting this data, I'm calling out Gabby, operating in Utah.
So, hi, Kevin. We are Elevate Strategies. This is Utah. You might not know it because you're from Canada. This is where we live.
It irks me to no end. It is nails on a chalkboard painful listening to this slug man, Kevin O'Leary, utter the words "our." Having those words leave his filthy, corrupt, contaminated lips that are used solely to kiss ass drives me up the fucking wall. What do you mean, our? Kevin, you're not American. Why are you saying our electrical grid? You are not on the team, bud. You're not even on the bench. You are not in this at all, Kevin. You can't speak for Americans. You aren't one. You don't even bother to try and become one either. It is a complete disregard for this nation. You use it solely to line your own pockets. You fucking suck, man. Now, he's trying to call out Elevate Strategies, which is an organization in Utah, and he's saying that they're actually Chinese spies, and he thought he had like this gotcha moment, this dunk where it's like calling one of them out by name, Gabby. So come, Gabby, I'm shining a light here. Show yourself. And I guess he was expecting, a fucking Chinese operative to step forward, or just complete radio silence and crickets, but what he got was the actual organizers here, Gabby herself, coming forward and talking about their goals and what they are doing in Utah as people that actually live and work there. This isn't some fucking grand conspiracy to try and stop these benevolent saints from bestowing upon us plebeians the gift of data centers. We have so many data centers that are blowing up across the country. Well, not literally. Don't worry, BlackRock's already taken that into account. I yapped about that yesterday. I mean, like this explosion of data centers being built. Like they are pushing for data centers in every single location imaginable. You'll probably find some data centers in your fucking thoughts too. They're starting to put them there as well. Like they're actually going everywhere. And we have the information from the data centers that have been operational for a while that it is a terrible deal for all the normal working people. The normal civilians get butt fucked by this. Their energy bills go through the roof. They lose water quality. It's just a complete contamination to their way of life in their local communities. And again, it doesn't bring jobs. I've mentioned this a lot. I've yapped about this endlessly, especially over the last couple weeks. One of the biggest data centers in this country only employs roughly 150 full-time employees, and normal average-sized data centers run as lean as 20 to 25 employees. They are not giving jobs to the community, so the community sees none of the upside. It doesn't benefit them in any way, shape, or form. I know I already mentioned it, but because of the huge energy demand for these data centers, it then inevitably has the consequence that all of the local community members have their energy bills fucking skyrocket, and of course there is the impact on water and all that. But then there's also something that's starting to develop now. It happened very recently. I talked about it yesterday. NV Energy, an energy supplier to Lake Tahoe residents, let them know that they're just not going to be giving power to the people anymore. They are now going to solely focus on delivering power to their local data centers. So now 50,000 residents in Lake Tahoe are now at a risk of not even having power because NV Energy just decided it's more lucrative to just solely work with AI and basically fuck you to all of the actual human beings that rely on them for the energy to live. So now they have to try and scramble by 2027, only a year, to find a new power supplier to these 50,000 residents. It's actual insanity. Normal people do not want data centers, and they are doing all they can to fight back, albeit unsuccessfully because of the intense corruption, especially in like Utah, where 3 people, one of them even fighting for hell, saying for hell's sakes, grow up. People that are literally just going against the will of the people, deciding to brute force it through because they get some doubloons out of that deal most likely. However, I would like to highlight a successful one that has recently unfolded where recently in Missouri, the council that pushed through a data center initiative, all of them got voted out in a landslide defeat, and now they're setting their sights on the mayor who allowed this to happen as well. This is exactly how it should be. If you are not going to actually represent the people in your community, if you are going to go against their interest in order for your own greed and exploitation, you lose your job. You lose that position. That's exactly how it should be. That's exactly what's happening in this Missouri community. So hats off to them, and I hope to see more of this shit continue. Anyway, back to clowning on Kevin O'Leary.
Before we get into anything too serious, this is the very scary, very intimidating man that is threatening us. We are not taking the criticism of anyone who is wearing flip-flops and a suit on national television. You know, it's not every day you get called out by first and last name on Fox News by a Canadian billionaire trying to ruin my state, but here we are.
Kevin is such a quirk chungus Reddit loser. He's wearing pink flip-flops with his suit and a Utah national security hat, because he's cosplaying as this big, rough and tough guy. It's like if you went into a character creator in a video game and intentionally tried to make the most insufferable looking asshole you could think of. And he also has a life-size cardboard cutout of him in the same room.
I want a forensic audit of who's funding their platforms. Who is it? So these are proxies for the Chinese government's my argument. And if they're not, because I want them to be able to defend their name to Gabby, come out, wherever you are.
Okay, Kevin, go ahead. Mr. Wonderful's Nancy Drew little detective agency, have at it, brother, because if we were Chinese operatives, we would be the worst operatives in the entire world. Someone alert Beijing that the payment portal to Jackie and I's Amex bills is somehow broken. As a reminder, we run Democratic campaigns in the state of Utah. If we were in this to be making money, we would be doing literally anything else. And you should know that because your job is to give small business owners an aid. But if we're talking about audits, we should be auditing the Stratos Project. We should be auditing all of the politicians that, I don't know, do you have property surrounding the Stratos Project? Or maybe do you have interests that you were changing the laws before this was created? Hypothetically. We're just saying we should maybe look into people that stand to make hundreds of millions of dollars off this project.
Audit is a word that should be treated like Voldemort in Kevin's vocabulary. He should fear the word audit. Because if anyone actually gave a fuck about Kevin's business dealings, they would uncover some extremely shady shit, I imagine. The last thing he would want is any kind of auditing for his projects like the 40,000 acre data center, the Stratos project. He's trying so hard to use the worn out method of everyone who disagrees with my business practices is a spy or a terrorist. They're not real Americans. But it doesn't work, Kevin, because data centers are so unanimously hated by real people that actually live in these communities that you are infesting that this just doesn't fly. Because again, average, ordinary people are directly impacted by this in a wildly negative fashion, and they do actually go out and try and fight against it. So when you, a foreign billionaire, come over and start stepping all over them, insulting them and saying that they're not real Americans, they're being paid by China or being bussed in and aren't actually representative of the real enthusiasm true Americans have around data centers, it just doesn't work. People see right through the lie. He also just can't help himself but to go on this humiliation ritual where he makes it abundantly clear that he is just actually a stupid imbecile, like a bumbling moron. There's always this perception that if you have as much money as Kevin, you must be smart, but Kevin is doing everything he can to show that that's just not the case.
To stop advancement of technology with the uncertainty it brings has always been a dilemma in capitalism and in America, and it's a fair comment.
But how is this capitalism? If taxpayers are paying for some of it, how is that capitalism? That seems...
I think that's no different than building an apartment building downtown in Austin. You can get incentives for that too, and that's just part of how it works. You can debate
How is that capitalism? How is that free market? If politicians are handing you other people's money to do it, how is that capitalism?
Well, capitalism is built into the Constitution, which I think was genius.
As I said, he's been going on like every platform imaginable, and every time he finds a way to look dumber and dumber. So throughout this interview, he continues to like flounder. He was also then asked about like, well, what jobs is it going to bring? Because Kevin keeps talking about the millions of jobs that this is going to bring. People just don't see the vision. And he couldn't actually name any jobs or actually explain that thought process of his. And also, it looks like he's fucking zooted out of his mind. Why does he keep zoning out? Is he blue screening in the brain? Is he seeing a ghost or like a big floating pair of titties? Like, what does Kevin keep looking off into? Is he that shy, maybe? I don't know. This guy just super sucks. And it's not just the AI data centers that he's doing his best to go to bat for and defend tooth and nail. He also just loves to go on and talk about, like, American policies and stuff and his view on how that should be.
The problem with that sentiment is that you were born in 1954.
Yeah.
Okay? You're 71.
Yeah.
Right? In 1954,
by the way, I'm a vampire.
During your lifetime, we've actually had Brown v. Board of Education.
I remember.
Yeah, Brown v. Board of Education. I don't know how you remember it. I think 54. You were like 2 months old. But I'm not finished yet.
Kevin can't help but perpetually interrupt when he's backed into a corner, which is always... This guy, if he didn't have money, would have just been the kind of douchebag, the kind of dweeb that just gets shoved into lockers. So... he tried to pretend he knew what Brown v. Board of Education was. He's like, oh, yes, I actually remember that. Very, very vividly, in fact. And the guy there's like, no, you definitely don't. You would have been 2 months old. And also, you're not American. Kevin, you're not American. You wouldn't know anything about what he's describing here or what he's going over. I know you've never opened up a fucking American history book. You don't have a clue what he's talking about, but he likes to pretend. He's a LARPer. He is a full-blown red alert LARPer. It's all he fucking does. Well, to be fair, I guess it's not all he does. He also can't help but constantly remind people that he was in Marty Supreme. That's what you heard right there where he said, I'm a vampire, by the way. That's a reference to one of his character's lines from that film where he plays a villain. It's like the only thing Kevin's done in recent memory where there was any level of praise for his work. So he's still riding that high, and he will not let people forget the vampire line from his Marty Supreme debut. It's actually a SpongeBob ripped pants moment. He just keeps doing it. I ripped my pants. I'm a vampire. Fucking loser, man. I hate Kevin O'Leary. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about it. He just goes on to keep embarrassing himself every time he does one of these shows. It is indefensible what he is doing in Utah with the 40,000 acre data center. This guy sucks major ass. Fuck you, Kevin O'Leary. That's really about it. See ya. I had a bit of a superpower for a while, but I feel like the compound V that I was born with has finally started to peter out. I had a complete immunity to jump scares in horror games and horror movies by extension. It was something I was quite proud of, but it seems like in my old age now, it's running out of gas. About a week and a half ago, I played a game called Who's at the Door, and I got startled by something in there. And it shocked me to my core. Not the actual jump scare, but the ability for it to penetrate me and get my defenses down, where I actually did one of these at a jump scare, like I sat on a fucking whoopee cushion. And you could write that first one off as a fluke, perhaps. I mean, that game was a banger. Maybe it was just a really well done, well executed jump scare, but I'm ashamed to report it's happened again. For my gaming channel, I just played another horror game called Dreadflats. This game's got a lot of hype, a lot of glaze. It was a good game, and it has now joined the extremely small list of games that has successfully jump scared me. I just wanted to show you some highlights from it. Also, go check out my gaming channel, Moist Critical Gaming Official. I'm playing every game ever made, basically. It's been so much fun. 10,000 USD to spend 3 nights in a haunted building. Would you dare? Yeah. I 100% would do that. That's very easy, actually. In fact, I've done it like 5 times. Not even for money, for free. For the love of discovery of science, to try and prove the paranormal is real despite me not believing in it even slightly. I'm the host of a paranormal channel. I've stayed and filmed in countless haunted places. Ghost stories, urban legends, just tales to scare the weak-minded. Sounds like I'm playing as myself. This time a fan paid me to film at an apartment building, a place where people vanished without a trace. Let me see. The fan's key is for room 204. Go there first. It'll be my base for the next few days. Sounds good. Room 204. Luggage deployed. The fan said he was too young when he moved to remember much about it, only that many people vanished here. This torn newspaper clipping is the only clue online. Fangpu Daily, June 20th, 2001. Male resident of Fangjiang Apartments went missing around midnight of June 15th. According to family members and neighbors, the man had complained of tapping sounds like marbles bouncing above the ceiling in the days leading up to his disappearance, escalating sharply that night. Police confirmed no signs of break-in or struggle. His room was locked from the inside. The case remains unsolved until today. I'm gonna solve it. He fell into the back rooms. Case closed. As is known to happen. Even though I don't believe in the paranormal and shit, staying in a place like this for a couple nights would actually be miserable. I'd be so worried about all the germs and, like, mold. You know, like the real shit. Oh my god, it's Bigger Boot! No! Who is she? That is a good question. Who is that peculiar older woman? Hang on to your fucking blankies and get ready to tinkle in your britches. Everything's locked. Oh. Hello? Taking a peek in the glory hole. There's a key on the table. But how to enter here? Maybe like Rainbow Six Siege and we sledgehammer through. Whoa! Did something just touch me? I don't think so. More so is covering the hole. But it's very polite. It let us in. There she is off to the side. YouTube red circle. Yeah, YouTube thumbnail red circle is what I meant to say. I think we're good. Enough footage for now. Time to return. Whoa! That one startled me. That was loud. Hello. Turn that shit off. That's my least favorite program. Good evening. I gotta tell you, I think that old lady finally went back to the retirement home. This place is clean. I feel like I got smaller. Did I get shorter? Wait, she actually did hit me with a shrink ray. It sent me back to Wumbo. No! What are you doing here? Sorry, got something on my lips. What was that? Not a what? A who? And why is she here? Playing a horror game with the lights on. It's Weenie Hut Jr. shit. Hold on. You know what else I just realized? I've got this light on. Nice. Now I'm fully immersed. This ought to scare the pants off me now. I will say though, this is the second horror game that actually like startled me with a jump scare. That doesn't usually happen. I also think it's because I've made the games significantly louder than I usually have them for the sake of these videos. So now it's like blasting my eardrums. I see it, I'm coming. Show yourself for the paranormal channel. We need a good thumbnail. Marbles. I hear the pitter patter. Zoinks. Still locked. There's been a sound behind me this whole time. Yeah, I know, I checked. There's nothing there. The sound's behind me again. Is she here this time? Yeah! I'm gonna flick onto her. Yeah! Thank you! Marbles again. Well, I appreciate it. That was kind. A gift. Can't make out the writing. Okay. Why would he do that? I'm a resident of this apartment, same as him. Oh, jeez. What was that noise? There's a burglar! Quick! Give me this. I'll gather the evidence. He's in the kitchen making food for me. It's a generous burglar. It's a chef. Oh. Time to sleep. I'm probably gonna have another dream. This guy's done nothing but fucking sleep though, really. Kind of a lame paranormal channel if you ask me. Alright, let's go to 305. That was loud. What was that? Jeez. She's knocking over entire cabinets? My god. She's more powerful than I would have ever thought. Ah, this was the clock from earlier. Reach the camera in, see what's happening. No, she's gonna take our camera and start vlogging! The door's stuck. That door just opened on its own. Oh, that was nice. She knocked over the wood. This bitch is knocking over everything, my god. Why is the light on? Whoa! Because she has strong aura. Brace for impact. Toilet hasn't seen this level of action in years, I'll tell you that much. This exhaustion's back. The stomach pain and fatigue. Could I be coming down with something? Yeah, serious case of the heebie-jeebies. Maybe sleep till dawn, then go to town for a day's rest. If we make it there. Oh! Wait, do I have my flashlight? No. Jeez, this sound. Don't come in. I'm pooping. It doesn't sound like rats. It sounds like perverts. There we are, sleeping peacefully like a princess. Very nice. Oh! She was in the closet there? But I checked. Oh, I vanished. Oh no, never mind. She was just blocking me. Why did she do that? She really likes to just be under the bed. Hello. Maybe she just wants to feel closer to us. That's why she wants to play like marbles and like hide under our bed. I still hear her breathing heavy. I need to get out of here now. Why? Let's say hi to her. I can't crouch. Oh, she's not there. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You're not gonna want to hear it, but she seems friendly. Damn, she's blocking the exit. I'm assuming I don't want to get touched by her, right? That'll probably be game over. Hide in the bathroom. She respects privacy. She's also very slow. I feel confident I could run by her. It's blood. That's why they're giggling. The blood is making them laugh. Oh no. Why? Ah. Am I being dragged away? No, she's vanishing me. This footage is gonna go fucking crazy, though. Our paranormal channel's about to go ballistic. He should have been live streaming this, so that way even if he does get killed here, he'll have like an incredible legacy with this footage. I saw it with my own eyes. The monster devoured a guy who then reappeared somewhere else. Jesus, why am I like struggling to read? Who then reappeared elsewhere. When I found him, his body was already twisting. From what I've observed, the monster is blind. Hiding behind cover and holding breath seems to work temporarily. I'm in her dimension now. Okay, looks like I blew it. Well, I didn't sprint or anything. Don't make a peep. Nice. She's been outsmarted. Now, luckily, we brought a gun. What does she want? Why don't we ask her? She knows about cameras. She's familiar with technology. All is lost. Huh? So the chairs move back when she gets closer. So, I see. I summon the chairs. They block me. And then I need to wait for her to get over there. Oh, she's addicted to television. Oh, shit. To be fair, that is a good program. I gotta go back, I gotta back. No! Oh, what? Okay. We take those. Alright, alright. We got lucky there. I'm just gonna wait until she goes all the way across. Why'd she come back in here? This feels like a different route she's running. Got the key. Close. Nice. Got the key. Oh, fuck. Slendermen. Run! They've all got scoliosis. We gotta punch it. Go, go, go! Hit it! Nice, quick reflexes. I see the exit. She's gonna be there though. I knew it. She's gonna be here though, I know it. I knew it. She's pushing me into a trap. She's flushing me out. I won't let her stop me from escaping. You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Swan. I'm in one. Nice, I made it back. Other common traits among them: hearing marble sounds, starting to feel something staring from the corner, frequent nightmares, beginning to notice, the eerie old woman only visible to themselves. The more they focus, the closer it gets. Fear manifests it. Destroy all records. How to purge his existence from my mind. Tried every method. Nothing worked. Surgery? Yes, surgery. The last resort. Gonna give ourselves a lobotomy. Alright. Well, now's the time. It's the only way. Luckily, the old lady gave us all the tools we required. Jesus. Did it work? It feels like I had another nightmare, but I can't remember what it was about. My head hurts. I think I have a fever. Let's get out of here first. How many times am I gonna do that? Jesus. We're gonna hear the marbles on our way out. Alright. Yeah, the paranormal's a bunch of fucking baloney. Nothing happened. As expected. Just another boring, overnight paranormal experience. Oh, the old lady's gonna be jogging next to us. Oh, there she is. Bye-bye. After a hospital examination, the doctor confirmed it's just a common cold, but I feel there's more to this. I keep feeling like I've experienced something, but whenever I try to recall, I get a headache, accompanied by an inexplicable sense of dread. It seems my subconscious is blocking me from remembering something. I've decided to destroy the camera's memory card. The deposit will also be refunded to the fans. I'm never going back to that apartment again. Yeah, so that fan was the one leaving those letters about, like, the surgery and shit. That's why they can't remember. And we did it to ourselves as well, the only way to save us from it. Unless... Uh-oh. She's still under the bed. That was fun. That was good. I've been really into these horror games. That was a nice one. Boy, howdy, do I have something wacky to share with you right now. This has to be one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in a tournament. Full stop. It happened at a Pokemon Go regional. A player named Firestar73 came through loser's bracket and won the entire thing, becoming the Orlando regional champion, but he was too happy about it and they took it away from him. He had a small pop-off, like a little celebration, and pop-off is a word I'm using way too loosey-goosey because it doesn't really apply. He was excited, so he dropped his headset and gave a single fist pump, one pump, not even 2 or 3 pumps, one fist bump, and then shook his hand, and they deemed it excessive and unsportsmanlike, so they stripped him of the win, gave him a game loss, and thus his opponent became the champion for it.
Now on his 11th one, he is the first-time champion for himself and your 2026 Orlando champion!
Incredible series from Firestar, pulling out all the stops, all the Pokemon, taking us to a decisive Game 5. Could not have asked for anything else.
That's the entire thing. That's his celebration that they thought was just out of line. They said, "You're disqualified, Buster. You were too excited. We can't have that. We're like fucking Dementors. We have to sap that shit up. So your opponent is now the champion." And by the way, they didn't even announce this during the official broadcast. It wasn't until after it was all said and done, after the dust had settled, then they made it clear to the community that Firestar73 was not the winner because of this unsportsmanlike celebration. It's unhinged. Any sane, normal human being would look at this and tell you that there was nothing excessive or unsportsmanlike about what he did. His conduct was totally acceptable. It's just wild to me how infested the upper echelon of the Pokemon brass is with the unhappiness virus. Joy is the arch enemy of Pokemon tournament organizers and like Pokemon businessmen, these suit and tie zombies that actually control Pokemon. They hate happiness. Truly loathe it. And this is just a further evidence of that. Firestar73 was excited, he was happy, and he did a very light celebration. Like, I mean it. Like, that is not excessive by any stretch of the imagination. I get more animated and excited when I find an extra fucking french fry in my goddamn Miller's Alehouse order. Like, he did not go crazy or anything. When I saw the headline, I was expecting like a Hungry Box level pop-off where he just stands up, picks up the chair, throwing the chair into the audience, lights a match, and then throws like a fucking stick of dynamite or something, like fireworks display. Like, I expected something chaotic, catastrophic, where he was like piling up corpses from celebrating, just beating the shit out of people or something. Something so extreme that it would somehow warrant an automatic game loss there, which gave the opponent the tournament victory. It would have to be something extreme. Like maybe they found out that he wasn't showering using cheeky soap, and then I'd understand why they'd disqualify him, because that's just not good hygiene. If you're showering, you gotta be using cheeky soap. It's the best soap in the universe. But this, all he did was he dropped his headphones. He didn't even throw them. He didn't spike them. He didn't give it like a Gronk spike in the end zone. He dropped the headphones, and then he pumped his fist once before shaking his opponent's hand. That is not excessive. That is not unsportsmanlike. Jiminy Christmas, I can only imagine what these dweebs would do if they saw Hungrybox, for example, pop off. They'd have a heart attack. They would keel over and die on the spot watching someone get that excited. If this was enough for them to be like, it's a game loss. Oh my God, I'm gonna have nightmares. Oh my God, it's so much. Give it to this guy. Quick, quick, quick. We have to punish him for being happy. I can only imagine if they saw like an athlete or something, like an actual athlete celebrating, a big shot or a big moment in a game. These are the biggest fucking losers, man. Actual dorks. And I've seen a couple of people mention that Firestar73 got an earlier warning from one of the judges because he had dropped his headphones earlier when he was excited. So this was them, following through on their threats and punishing him for doing it again. That's still stupid. He shouldn't have, it shouldn't matter. He didn't do anything wrong. You can see him shaking in excitement. So he's taking his headphones off, he's shaking and drops them. He doesn't do anything like throwing them at the computer screen. He doesn't fucking rocket them at his opponent saying, eat dirt, pussy, and flicking them off or anything. He sets his headphones down. He drops them. That's not a big deal. Now, I don't know how he reacted earlier where he may have got a warning. Maybe it was more excessive then. But what he did here shouldn't have even constituted any level of eyebrow raising in the slightest. Not even an ounce. So I just think that's a load of barnacles. There is a game theory, though, that's being cooked up that I actually do think has some real oomph to it. There is a belief that these judges maybe bet on the match. And maybe they bet on his opponent to win, because Firestar73 did come through loser's bracket. Making a loser's run is extraordinarily difficult in any tournament. And perhaps they placed a bet on his opponent to be the victor. And you know how the story unfolded? He won. Firestar73 did make the loser's bracket miracle run, squeaking out the big W here. And now the judges, they're not going to get that payday. They're out that money, but they see a way of kind of weaseling a W, snatching a victory from the jaws of defeat by DQing this guy for being too happy. Because fundamentally, that's what it is. Hey, you were too excited, so you lost, actually. He won now. So I can definitely understand this conspiracy theory here, and I do believe there's a non-zero chance that it could actually revolve around that entirely. There's enough question marks here for how this was handled to at least warrant an official investigation, I would argue. Gambling has become a core component of basically everything. Esports, sports in general, TCGs, basically anything. And prediction markets are only serving to even further blow that up and expand the scope of gambling. So I have no doubt that there probably were bets placed throughout this tournament here, because in every single tournament, in every single game or whatever competition, there are people betting on it. So there is definitely the possibility that maybe these judges were betting on Firestar73's opponent because it was kind of a safer bet. Firestar73 looked unlikely coming through losers. It's a lot harder to pull that off, so they wanted to make some easy clams, but it didn't go in their favor, and instead, they found a way to try and weasel their way out of it and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Match fixing is something that is extremely prevalent in esports in particular. So it is definitely possible that this could be the explanation for it, because I just really don't buy into this garbage that he excessively celebrated and it was unsportsmanlike, thus they had to punish him by taking away the win and giving it to his opponent. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely absurd. Now, Firestar73 has responded after this whole thing has blown up, saying, I am incredibly thankful for the support directed my way. I have a direct account of my experiences releasing soon in an interview, which I will link when it's out. For the moment, please use the support link if you disagree with the ruling as well. Love y'all. Hopefully there are enough complaints to get this ruling overturned, because it just doesn't make any sense. If it stands, then I really think Pokemon Go as a competitive scene should be curtains. I think that should just be the end of it there. The competitive integrity is completely fucking ruined, right in the shitter with this. I think it's unacceptable. And judging from the response to all of this, it seems like the community agrees as well, which is extremely nice to see. So hopefully we'll see some kind of action here as a result of what the judges ruled. I hope they actually pay attention to the direct complaints. I don't know if they just wipe their ass with it like normal Pokemon Company does. I couldn't tell you. I am not an active Pokemon Go player these days, nor do I pay attention to the competitive scene, but this is just completely unjust. It's not fair, and it's unacceptable in a competitive environment. It just truly is. Like, maybe going forward, the Pokemon Go competitive community can rally together, and at the upcoming tournaments, maybe after every player drops their headset in similar fashion to how Firestar 73 did, to see if they're going to rule it like this going forward across the board, where that's going to result in a game loss every time for being unsportsmanlike or some shit. I don't really know. I just know that this is just garbage. And I needed to yap about it because it's one of the most embarrassing things I've seen in a fucking tournament setting. That's really about it. See ya.
And we make love.
Hey! That's my Nana. There it is, baby. Sometimes I'll suck their dick right in front of the Arby's head chef.
Aging. Everyone is worried about aging.
You know, maybe she's found the secret. Young dudes bust inside of her, and then her vagina absorbs the young semen, which keeps her young.
Mostly they're not. See, now this guy says he's 57. He's probably 26.
No one's good. No 26-year-old's gonna say they're 57. That ruins their chances.
So my feet are in.
What is this? Stretch out her labia or something? Oh, it's one of these. Now she's ready for an orgasm.
When I was younger,
like Dracula coming out of the coffin.
Get married and have a
I want to suck your
my
dick.
husband and I, former husband,
Swipe right,
had a
please.
wonderful sex life. And I put an ad in the paper. We
What?
didn't have the internet. And then I got a series of lovers.
You could
one
put
after
your
the other. They
you could
left
put your
names
ass on the
my
newspaper for
answering
fucking.
machine, and I don't really know.
You may have thought that footage was sped up, but that was just her standard movement speed. She bought boots of mobility before going out.
Have you ever done it before?
Once you told me you were in a dorm at NYU, and that I thought.
Nice. That's pretty
NYU
fucking
guy,
awesome.
right.
When she got fucked by the entire NYU basketball team.
And
Well, let's do what God told us
there's no
to.
sense of whether or
And
not
do the
that will
anal.
ever develop. If that's aging, it's okay with me. I'm gonna take
Ooh,
care of it.
the remix. The fuck was that editing?
Way.
I like that. Good for you, Hattie. And then I scrolled down and it's Hattie in like a Brazzers production, 15 dicks deep. I'd still bump my fist in the air for her. No! Hattie quits the dating app. Only 4 hours. No, that's a developing story. Why? Hattie, why? Try Craigslist. If you're not afraid of meth addict penis, you can probably find someone very committed. I don't want to fuck with the cameras here. Can we wait?
Come on.
No, the cameras. My wife wouldn't like that.
If you're long, it's okay. But if you're wide, I can't take you in.
No!
20 wonderful nights.
That's an
to
odd
a
necklace. It
park.
looks like a stethoscope.
Oh, yeah.
But without the
I know,
thing on
that's
the
so
end.
odd. I wouldn't want two men work. Well, this, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it.
There
I
is the
want two
butthole,
men.
Hattie.
That's more likely.
The old
than
forbidden
women.
chamber of secrets, as they call it in Hogwarts. The logistics make sense. You could handle 2 wieners, depending on the angle.
Do I have... 2 days ago, in the mail, I get this envelope.
For horniest grandma.
It's from her. It says, and I open it up, and I take this out, and it's love of life. I mean...
That is wholesome. And then she
so
turned it over and it was a
I
dick pic.
feel you don't need anything more.
Oh,
But
Hattie's
that's
so
what
fucking
this is
awesome.
about.
Amen. Fuck yeah. Hey, age gap. Age gap lovers.
I hate it.
Who's that? Her brother? Who cares if your brother doesn't like you?
Person and not over the phone because it is a big life decision.
It's probably easy.
Think, well, it's just a normal
It's probably
thing.
easier over
At
the
her age,
phone.
You get married, you have. We were going to do a vasectomy reversal. I had a
What?
vasectomy in the early 90s, and because of the amount
How
of
do you
time
reverse it?
and my
What do you do?
That opened up the
Reattach the
option to
epididymis?
do what we-
Or maybe they use like PVC pipe or like a substitute. I have no idea.
It's like a
Nessa.
mild. You're welcome, my dear.
Hey, I fuck your daughter. I'm older than you and I fuck your daughter. See you later, dude. High five. Hey, what's up? Did you pussies know I fucked this girl and she's 30 years younger than me?
Love you.
I love you.
Drive safe.
I'll do it.
Text me when you get back.
Okay.
He treats her like a queen.
It seemed like a very scripted exchange, like NPCs talking to each other in a video game.
Hi, Hills.
Do you accept the quest? Yes, I accept the quest.
Thank
He has a vasectomy, for God's sakes. What is he gonna do? Concentrate hard enough to, like, regrow his epididymis?
They have decided to.
I think that's what they cut when they do a vasectomy. Hey, Bruce, what's up? You still a virgin? The fuck is that, Chris Ray Gun? What the fuck?
Of course it is. Of course it's very strange that she's younger than I am. It's, yeah.
So?
The age gap. I
That's
mean,
good.
It's not exactly negative, but it's just like more like, wow.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly positive, I imagine. It's a, fuck yeah, Larry. How the fuck did you do that, Larry? Blink twice if you're being held captive by Larry.
Huge part of my channel.
Hello everybody and welcome
Oh, she's a YouTuber.
Today's video is a highly
Today I'm going to show you how to French kiss old men. Today we'll be doing the Fortnite 1 death equals 1 piece of clothing comes off of Larry.
Here is actually the chapel at the reformatory, and originally this was the backup plan just in case it poured rain on the day of our wedding. Luckily it
That's a
didn't
good
pour
idea.
rain.
Yeah,
We
you just
were
give
able
all
to
of the
get there
attendees
outside in the
tinnitus.
front of the building.
Jesus, not tinnitus. Tetanus.
Give this video a
Well, I guess maybe tinnitus if Larry's hitting a gong or something. I don't know. Yeah. Very nice. That's a prohibition-style kiss right there, baby. That's how we do it. And he's late for his other pussy date. That's why he's checking that watch.
Are you going to cause a pregnancy?
Why is this guy making fan art of her vagina? Yeah, this is the same couple. It's Larry and Michaela.
She's only using Larry for the OMG I kissed an old guy clickbait.
Yeah, the long con.
I don't know. I think
She's basically just a prop for he's basically just a prop for her YouTube channel.
I've won the lottery.
Goddamn right, Larry. You've lost your son, but you won some fine young punani, I guess.
The age
Oh, is that her
scared me,
ex?
And I was terrified. I was expecting him to take
You know, I don't
it
have
totally
siblings,
different. Like,
but if I
just
did and
thought
my
that he
sister was
would
like married to a
accept it and
70-year-old guy at
understand.
like 23, I don't think I'd care. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I don't. Why the fuck do I care?
I'll just get ready and I'm
Damn, that is a high-tech setup. What the fuck? What the? It's like half a lifesaver with a camera in the middle. Never seen that.
the fixer. Obviously, as you can
Today we'll be doing the try not to twerk challenge. Uh-oh, we're both twerking. Press that like button. Smash it, baby.
Comment talked about it. Larry didn't really want to have children. He was retiring, and
Yeah,
I
kids
was okay
suck.
with that.
You
And
might
then
end
about
up
a
with like a
month before we got
shit-posting
married, I
Redditor or
went
something
into
for a
panic
kid
mode
who wants to
thinking,
take that
this
gamble.
is what I'm supposed to do. I'm getting married now.
I say just adopt and like vet him thoroughly. Ask him like questions, you know, does the narwhal bacon at midnight? If they know what it means, they're out. Because that's a big fuck no. So his vasectomy is older than his girlfriend or his wife.
You had a vasectomy.
That's pretty nice. As you can see, here is Larry's penis. And on the back is my penis. As you can see, it's significantly larger than Larry's.
Are you going to have a
Do you understand what I'm saying, Michaela?
Mm-hmm. With artificial insemination using donor sperm.
And Larry's willpower.
Maybe
Larry can literally think hard enough and put a baby inside of her. He doesn't need his penis. Now, in the last episode of the Larry and Michaela anime we watched, he said he wanted a reverse vasectomy, but that doctor made it seem like it wasn't necessary. So what the fuck does a vasectomy even do then if it doesn't stop you from making kids? They cut the Oh, they cut the deferens? I thought they cut the actual epididymis. Oh, that was adorable. That was fucking adorable. She's popping off. Coming up on 200k subs. Where's my boy Larry? Yeah, there's my boy Larry. What's up, Larry?
Another PO box.
We're gonna do the Pop Larry's Dick in My Mouth challenge. See how long you can last. Smash that like button. It's really rare these days for a promotional piece or a promotional trailer to really get me excited or just blow me away in general, but today that phenomenon happened. I straight blew a load when I saw this promotional piece for Supergirl on CW. This whole thing just looks like a project put on by a 7th grade middle school's arts and crafts department. I'm gonna let the whole thing play first of all, and then we'll go back and analyze it scene by scene. And keep in mind, they are using this as the actual promotional piece to get you interested in the show.
The ones you love turn their back on you. That's pain. But you'll see when you suffer the way you made me suffer. You can't touch me without hurting yourself.
That's why he brought me.
We came prepared.
You can't intercept any of us now.
Don't be so sure.
Agent Blake? John, now!
Sindark!
Now, if that full-throttle, high-octane, nuts-to-butts action does not have you on the edge of your seat, well then I just don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Now, I've never seen Supergirl, I know nothing about the character, I know nothing about the show, but you bet your sweet little asshole I'm about to learn, because this shit makes me want to dive in with both feet.
The ones you love turn their back on you. That's pain.
Now, I thought it'd be fun to go back to the trailer and analyze it scene by scene. So it starts with Dragon Ball Evolution's Piccolo saying some super emo shit. "Oh, you don't know the real meaning of pain. My family's turned their back on me, and now I listen to Pierce the Veil in the dark while writing in my diary. Ooh."
But you'll see when you suffer the way you made me suffer. You can't touch me with...
Yeah, this shit here just looks like a cutscene straight out of Mortal Kombat 4 on the Nintendo 64. It looks like a Halloween trick-or-treater standing in front of a green screen while a shitty YouTuber tried to very haphazardly edit them into a scene for a skit they were making in 2009. Also, I'm gonna critique the costuming here. It's not just shitty special effects, literally everything in this scene is fucking awful. The villain just looks super fucking goofy. He looks like a school shooter from outer space. His fucking stupid cape looks like a shag carpet dipped in motor oil. It's just top to bottom a horrible villain design. And it really does just look like a stock 3D asset that they decided to copy and paste onto this show here. It just looks low quality. But you know what's not low quality? The streams I do at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come check that shit out, baby.
Without hurting yourself.
That's why he brought me.
There's more cuts in this than there is in most Liam Neeson movies. The shit's jarring and disorienting. But from the split second of subliminal images I could pick up on, I was able to deduce that Supergirl was disguising herself as a construction worker, and then she deactivated her cloaking device to deliver a justice fist directly to the left cheek of the evil Cyberman as he was yanked back via cord. Oftentimes when you see cord acrobatics and shit in movies, they try and hide that it's a cord, but here it's that, like, they kind of embrace it. There's no weight to the punch, but disregarding the punch and the lack of physics in the show, why did the construction worker disguise work in the first place? The supervillain is monologuing in front of one of the main characters in what seems to be an isolated area, but for some reason he lets a construction worker in the front row seat to hear his evil plans. Why? I mean, you know, ideally you would want no one to hear your evil plans unless you've been caught. So why is he just letting some rogue construction worker sit there and listen? Turns out it's Supergirl and she punches him, but still, his planning makes no sense. He would have killed that construction worker or very politely asked him to leave, but he did neither of those things.
We came prepared.
You can't intercept any of us now.
Don't be so sure.
Agent Blake?
Now this Power Rangers battle is really starting to heat up here. There's a lot to digest. All of a sudden you got the fucking Avengers portaling in out of nowhere, entering this corporeal dimension, and now they're about to arrest the guy. One girl brags about how he can no longer intercept them, but then he does intercept the football pass and he mind controls that other girl and she shoots at them. But now I have to wonder if this is all like clipped up out of context and mashed together in this phase montage for the show, or if this is the actual tempo and the actual speed the show goes at, because if so, what the fuck were the Galactic Police plan here? We're gonna try and arrest the man with mind control. Hopefully he won't try and mind control us. Fuck. He mind controlled Beth. Like, you know, they didn't come here with any protection. They didn't have Magneto's helmet on to prevent anything like this. They just came here raw and no rubber, and then one of them gets mind controlled. It's just, I'm a little confused. I imagine maybe in the show it'll make a little more sense, but as it stands right now for promoting this, it leaves a lot of questions.
John, now!
Sindark!
Supergirl obviously intercepts the bullet, and then she fires a laser beam at her friend, and I have to wonder how that didn't split her in half, because she's supposed to be the equivalent of Superman or be stronger than Superman, and for some reason her laser just kind of love taps the gun out of her hand as kind of just like an inconvenience, more like a wasp sting than a fucking eye laser. But she disarms her friend, and then all of a sudden the main guy we saw in the beginning fires like a Ghostbusters proton beam at our main villain, who then makes himself intangible, fucking Naruto Toby style, and then fades away by throwing some kind of portal device underneath him. I'm really not sure. But either way, this display of highly talented special effects departments coupled with incredible storytelling and acting, I imagine will lead to one of my favorite shows on CW. And trust me, CW's got some real good bangers when it comes to shit television. This may take the cake. I'm excited to start watching, and hats off to the Supergirl CW promotional team, because this worked like a fucking charm. That's it. See ya. Wow. I just learned about the Switzerland ski resort fire last night, and what a devastating tragedy. At a ski resort bar, a fire broke out that claimed the lives of 40 people, and over 100 have been injured. As of me making this video right now, those are the numbers that are reported, and it is just heartbreaking. And what made me want to talk about it is there's a lot of videos floating around of people that were filming the fire instead of prioritizing escaping it. So there's videos of people that were still actively partying while filming this fire. Like, there's still music playing and everything, and people just not taking it seriously. They're busy filming it for social media. And I can't believe it. Social media has reached the point where it overrides people's basic survival instincts. To see people actively still partying as the entire building is being engulfed in a blazing inferno is unbelievable to me. There's multiple videos like this. So you can see tons of people's phones are out here. So you get like a whole 360-degree video of this fire building until it is completely out of control, which doesn't take long. That's how fire works. And then people panicking, scrambling to escape, but for some it was just way too late. 40 people died in this. It's fucking tragic. And I still just can't believe that people would be like filming and partying while something like this is happening instead of escaping or helping others to escape as well. Like, maybe there were people that didn't know this was going on, and someone filming could have instead, let them know, like, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here or something. It's so weird to me that we've reached a point where people would prioritize social media updates as opposed to their own life. You know what's a lot cooler than a few handful of likes on TikTok? Being alive. I urge anyone watching this to remember that at the end of the day, social media is not the most important thing in your life. Your life is the most important thing in your life. So anytime there's something like a fire going on, don't think of it as like a potential unique content opportunity. I feel like so much of the world has become incredibly geared towards like content brain 100% of the time, when it just shouldn't be that way. You should always be trying to prioritize your actual life as opposed to like your digital footprint and whatever you do online and all that kind of thing. It's just very, very sad to see this.
Celebration in the Swiss Alps shows the chaos as the deadly flames spread at a bar popular with young people and tourists. You can hear the screaming, people scrambling for the exit as the flames rip through the confined spaces of the bar Le Constellation. Swiss authorities say about 40 people were killed and more than 100 injured in the fire that began at 1:30 a.m. The cause of the blaze now under investigation.
It's extremely hard to watch that footage. It's gut-wrenching. Now, in the news segment, they mentioned that the cause of the fire was still under investigation. As of me making this now, it appears they have a lead on it. They believe that sparklers were what caused it. The sparklers appeared to have led to what is referred to as a flashover incident where the fire spread very rapidly. Investigators would assess soundproofing foam used in the ceiling and whether anyone needs to be held criminally liable for the fire. The sparklers they're referring to are champagne bottle sparklers. Now, I've seen this picture floating around, which seems legitimate, but in the age of AI, I can never really be sure anymore. But I've seen this in quite a few different places, including actual publications. But even still, I always take everything with a whiff of uncertainty because, again, it could be, phony baloney AI. But in that picture, the soundproofing, the foam on the ceiling, that does match what appears to be catching on fire in the videos that were filmed. So, regardless, it seems like it was the champagne bottle sparklers that started this incident, and it spread the fire very rapidly. It immediately reminded me of the 2003 Station nightclub fire, which killed 100 people, and the fire started in a very similar fashion where the acoustic foam paneling caught on fire during pyrotechnics. Here, the sparklers caught that foam on fire. Now, I believe the venue should be held liable. I do. Now, of course, I'm not a Switzerland authority, nor am I a fucking fire marshal or anything like that. I am a 5'6" homunculus layman. But I feel like if you are going to be selling champagne with sparklers on top, you probably also shouldn't have exposed, highly flammable foam paneling, where if a sparkler is raised a little too high, it can just cause all of it to ignite. That's clearly a huge problem and a big oversight to be combining these two things. It is a recipe for disaster. Now, I don't know if this was like the first year this bar did the sparklers and champagne thing or not, because if they were doing it previously, I'm surprised it wouldn't have happened sooner if the layout and the materials have stayed exactly the same. Like, that does seem to just be a glaring issue to have that there while also selling sparklers. But anyway, I saw in an article that one of the bar owners said that it's been inspected 3 times in 10 years and it passed the regulations. Again, I am a fucking idiot when it comes to this kind of thing, but that feels like a very little amount of inspection to be conducted over the course of a decade. I feel like, and keep in mind, I'm not the owner of an event space or anything, but I feel like in order to ensure the safety of patrons, you would want that to be inspected a little more often than 3 times in 10 years. A lot can change over the course of that period of time, so I just feel like in order to ensure due diligence and ensure materials are still up to code and everything's still, as it should be, I would have expected that to be a little bit higher. And I've seen people questioning, well, what are the regulations when it comes to this kind of thing there? Like, I haven't seen any reports on if there were, like, sufficient escapes, like maybe there weren't enough escape routes for people to exit in case of emergency. I haven't seen anything about that as of me making this video right now, so there's just a lot of question marks in the air. But based on the videos I have seen, it really feels like this venue will likely be held liable, at least in some sense, for the fire, because it doesn't make sense why they would even be doing these sparkling champagne bottles while having known flammable material on the ceiling. And it's not like the ceiling is like 50 feet high where it would never touch it or anything. You can reach it by holding the champagne bottle up a little higher than you normally would. Again, at least based on some of the videos I've seen. So, like there's a video of the guy hitting the roof or the ceiling that has fire breaking out on it, where you can see the paneling. He's hitting it while standing with his shirt. So you can easily reach that. So if you're selling sparklers, which can start fires, and you're surrounded by this not super high ceiling that is full of these flammable materials, that's a problem. So personally, I just can't imagine authorities coming back and being like, oh yeah, the venue's not at fault at all. This is actually, totally normal. Because it just doesn't feel like it should be. In that case, maybe we need to update the fire inspection protocol over there, because I don't think you should be mixing flammable foam paneling with fucking champagne sparklers. It's an absolute fucking disaster. And it's so tragic, man. It's just so fucking sad. 40 lives lost, over 100 people injured on what is supposed to be an extremely happy celebratory day. It's so fucking awful, man. Anyway, wishing the best for everyone affected, all families, everyone that survived it as well. Just terrible stuff. Truly awful stuff. That's really about it. So yeah, I'll start it. I've watched so many YouTube horror shorts, and yet I don't think I've ever watched a Dylan Clark one. But it seems like he's like the go-to guy for high-quality ones.
What does God look like? I'm going to show you a painting, or rather, a photograph of a painting. Just take a moment and stare at it. What do you see?
Nothing.
If the answer is nothing, if it just looks black to you, don't worry, that's what I see too. But that's not what everyone sees. The painting I've chosen for this project is titled Portrait of God. While most viewers see nothing, some insist they see a person in the darkness, one that they can describe and draw out with consistent details.
It's a man, or close to a man.
Wrinkled, skinny.
Really skinny.
He looks skinny.
He's smiling.
He's grinning. He smiles down at us.
Almost looks like the corners of his mouth got smudged.
Looks like he's wearing a mask.
It's too wide.
That guy sounds like me when I'm doing my wizard voice in RP.
His eyes are big.
They're big.
They've got this glint in them.
This speckle of light in them. Honestly, it's unsettling. Of course it's frightening. That kind of power should be. I don't like looking at it. I don't like it.
It's beautiful.
Maybe it's just a trick of the light. Maybe they're seeing something they want to see. But how are their descriptions so consistent? Maybe they really are having a religious experience. And why does God appear to them and not us?
Run it back. Oh! I saw it! My God! Man, a big grin!
I'm going to show you a painting, or rather, a photograph of a painting. Just take a moment and stare at it. What do you see?
Does she see it? Nope. Wait. It's there, it's coming into focus. He's not being shy. Nice. Oh no, now she's in the portrait.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Your prayers have been answered. There he is. This looks like the jump scare guy from that mining horror game that I played a while back. Like in the tunnels. Oh my. That was good. So he's doing the Blair Witch remake, huh? Hopefully it turns out better than the last one. You remember those History Channel shows that went on for way too long, like Curse of Oak Island? I don't know Curse of Oak Island. You did just remind me of a show that I fucking love that I saw a clip of today out of nowhere. Mountain Monsters. But no, I don't know Curse of Oak Island. But I do know me some good old-fashioned fucking mountain monsters. Dude, I love it so much, it's actually just them LARPing in the woods. Yeah, I wanted to do something like this with my friends, like a TOC video or something, but like we hire guys like this, and we just send them out there on a hunt for like various things, like on our land. It's just, I'm not certain it'd be super safe. Well, we wouldn't give them like actual guns for it, no. We'd give them like small arms. like fly swatters and stuff. So we'd send them out there with we'd treat it like Phasmophobia, right? We'd give them their task, like go out there and find the Yahoo, and then we'd dress Aaron up or something as the Yahoo. He's out there and he's making a bunch of noise, a bunch of ruckus. That kind of stuff. I think it'd be very cool, I just don't know if it's actually something feasible.
This ain't good, boys. This is bad.
Oh my gosh! What in there? It's Huckleberry! Easy.
Huckleberry?
Huckleberry!
Easy. We come over the top of that hill. What a sight to see. Huckleberry standing up here, buck-ass naked, covered in mud, holding that damn totem pole.
Hell, he's gone, dude.
Get him.
Hit him! Hit him! Ah, shit!
This ain't good.
Fuck! Got possessed by the damn forest woman.
Jeff! Where'd she go? We're walking through the brush looking for Jeff. I look up, and there's a little girl pointing at him. She takes off running. I try to follow her, and she disappears. Where'd she go?
Jeff!
Jeff! Once we got to Jethro, I got a hold of him. This man ain't home. Jeff! Get out of me! Come on! Hey!
No! Jeff!
Get off of me!
We got Jeff down on the ground wrestling with him, trying to get him to calm down. I've never seen Jeff like this.
Get out of me!
You slap him out of it.
That little girl standing right there. What? What are you doing? Dick! Jeb, where'd she go? Where'd she go?
This dark forest and the woman of the woods, she's got a hold of Jeff, and we damn sure got to work with him to get away from her.
Thank God.
What are you doing to me? We're trying
to help you.
The holy slap. Pushed her out. See, I think that'd be so fun to do. Like, on our land, I think that'd go so crazy. No, this show is great. Mountain Monsters is so good. Oh, if Queso wants to come down and do it, that'd be great. That'd be so fun. But the reason why I say I don't think it'd be overly safe is because I think this land they use is like a set, so they go through and actually make sure there's nothing dangerous in there. Our land, it's no holds barred. Like in the fucking Flintlock video, there was just a giant water moccasin. So like it wouldn't be the safest environment to do it in. And I don't want to go back and somehow make it more safe. He's a YouTuber, but fuck it. He seems like a nice guy.
Hello, food fans. Today we're marshmallows.
Well, that seems pretty easy.
Especially good.
I don't know if I needed a tutorial for this.
Put in.
Why would you add sugar? All cereal comes with a lot of sugar, and you have marshmallows, which are literal balls of sugar, and you have blueberries and raspberries, which have a ton of natural sugar.
More sugar.
He's pouring milk in this.
Secret ingredient, of course.
Chocolate? What?
Chocolate milk.
You've lost your goddamn mind.
Plain milk.
It's a literal whipped cream bowl of diabetes.
Doesn't that look good?
Well, it did before we put the chocolate milk in there. Whatever vitamins existed in there did not exist in a meaningful quantity, and have surely been overpowered by the sugar by now. The vitamins lost that war. Looks like something you'd find in a septic tank.
Interesting.
God, it's like if cooking with Jack was more diabetic. That is some yucky garbage right there. Well, let's see what else he makes. Now I'm invested now. How to eat sausage. I've always wondered.
Hello, food fans. We're going to have a delicious.
Every time I get sausage at a restaurant, I have to ask the waiter what the fuck I do with it, and I just end up throwing it on the floor because it's too confusing for me. How to eat rice, the official tutorial. I like that title. As if rice itself elected feature man to teach people how to eat it.
Rice.
When do we add the sugar?
Like maybe that was about a little bowl, which is a whipped topping container.
Why do you use whipped cream bowls?
With something. We shall be right.
That's more expensive than just buying like a 50-pack of paper plates.
And the first one is sugar. I'm going to put some sugar on it.
Well, there it is.
But not just sugar. I'm actually fun.
What is up with YouTube chefs and these obsessive vices? Cooking with Jack, the maestro of mayonnaise, always dumping mayonnaise on everything. Now Feature Man, the saint of sugar, just constantly fucking drowning everything in it.
Spoon down here.
My man, it was brown rice. It was supposed to be plain and healthy. You're turning it into a cupcake.
Liquid chocolate.
Oh God, what is it now?
I shall.
Confetti? Sprinkles?
Product here.
Ice cream?
And
don't leave me hanging. Jesus Christ, open that shit up, I gotta see it.
And put it on, and what is it?
Ah, naturally.
Of course, little
marshmallows. Why didn't I guess that? Every time I order brown rice at a restaurant, I'm like, what the fuck, where's my marshmallows? Can't have brown rice without marshmallows, what is this? Stone Ages?
Spill a couple on the...
Oh, sprinkles!
Sprinkle some of these...
Yeah, of course.
Cake.
Is this satire? Am I getting had? Is this 75-year-old man spanking my ass? No way.
Topping, which provided us with the...
Nobody would take brown rice and distort it and bastardize it like this.
On that. Chocolate milk.
This man's pantry must look like Willy Wonka's dumpster.
If I can get this cap open. And you put that on there.
Excuse me, waiter. I'd like some dessert rice. Yes, the brown dessert rice. What do you mean that's not a dessert? I make it at home all the time.
This man is either gonna die of a heart attack or diabetes.
Or maybe he's cracked the code. He's 75 years old and he looks healthy.
I want more.
Maybe the secret is eating like a 9-year-old boy's wet dream. Now I know how to properly eat brown rice.
So we have 22 grams of protein.
Which will be thrown out of the window when it's been drowned out with 88 grams of sugar.
Very, very.
Oh, so this meal looks like shit.
Microwave for
What is that sauce? Diarrhea from the creator?
Later, the brownie, which is right here under the
Oh,
spoon.
that's a brownie.
Put it into
I see it now.
one of these whips over here.
What kind of low quality meat is that? That looks like something Taco Bell wouldn't even feed a stray dog.
Even heat all the way through.
That's like a Krabby Patty patty that was shit out by Squidward or something. That looked gross as hell.
And be greater, leave it there.
Is the whole channel a joke? I see he's making jokes, but now I can't tell. Does he eat brown rice with chocolate chips and raisins? Jeez, marshmallows.
Now we all know
Fuck.
that
This is a really well done satire channel if it is.
Yes, that's what it is.
That looks like a porn star with a rectal prolapse and also just like a loaded gun, you know, a little something in the tank.
And we have other marshmallows.
That just looks yucky.
Here.
This is definitely a joke. He is definitely a satire channel. There is no way this is real.
But let's
His consistency with marshmallows and sugar, and now this watermelon thing, no. This is satire. I need to do a little bit of a deep dive down here, see what we're really dealing with. But yeah, I'm 100% convinced now. This guy's just really good at making satire. You wouldn't expect a 75-year-old man to come out here with the zingers, just the straight fucking bangers of satire. He got me. He straight fucking got me good.
Getting to a boil over here, and I'm going to
If this is satire, though, his entire shtick of satire is cook something totally normal until the very end when I dump marshmallows and chocolate chips and sugar on it. So every one of his cooking videos is, I'm making a real dish until I get you good with my powdered sugar and marshmallows. Satire at its finest form.
Add the beans. This will be a
Yeah, I guess this is just geriatric how-to basic. I want to know the way he writes these. I'll get these youngins good on this one. I'm making cereal.
that are needed.
Normally. Until I don't and I put chocolate syrup on it.
Italian
Well, any minute now, the chocolate syrup's gonna come fucking flying, double fisting style. Ew,
I now have half
ew,
of
yucky
a
potatoes.
can of potatoes in
The
the dish,
fuck?
and I'm going to chop them now.
These look like larvae.
Add
Are you sure you bought whole potatoes and not just like
but I'm not going to boil
maggots?
It, but I'm going to do.
Why are you microwaving an egg?
Microwave. The egg looks like this, and it does make the exploding sounds in the microwave, but nothing pops out because it has a paper towel.
Looks like a
But we're
child's
going to chop
kickball
up
that
the
just
egg
deflated.
and mix it in with the potatoes.
I knew it was satire all along.
Now that everything's chopped up, I'm going to some mayonnaise.
Yes! It's about fucking time someone cooks with a lot of mayonnaise again.
Some relish, speck of
Now that
mustard
Cooking with Jack has thrown up
there,
his
and the amount of
mayonnaise
mayonnaise
mantle.
I will start
It's
with
great to see someone else
3
picking it up.
gigantic spoon in a little bit. That's about a
That just
half
looks like a
teaspoon
hate
of
crime in a
mustard.
dish.
I'm going to put in one of
Yeah,
basil.
he's 75 years old, but I mean, he still has taste buds to some degree. There's no fucking way he thinks this abomination is
Coloring
tasty.
there.
This is a joke.
Now.
And I'm in on it now.
That-
Alright, let me see what the chat thinks. Do you think these recipes are satire, like jokes? Or do you think this man is genuinely preaching these dishes as like a real thing? Am I genuinely the only fucking one that thinks that this could be satire? 100%. I fucking called it. He makes very high concept
Beautiful day here.
comedy, I guess.
In Tennessee.
Well, you see, his whole channel is all about comedy, which means his food tutorials, his recipes are jokes. Except for maybe the spaghetti one, because that one seemed like a real recipe. Fucking spamming how dumb I am for not believing this man was making abominable recipes. To be fair, though, I too was fooled in the beginning, but I opened my third eye in the third half, and then I found the truth in the lies. This dude, he's good. Tom Willett, he's good. The new Demon Slayer movie has finally been viewed by me, Charles. I know I'm a little tardy to the party here, it came out a few days ago, but it's never too late to get this farty sharded, and let me tell ya, wow. I think it is a banger. Now, initially, I was a little skeptical on this decision here to take the final arc of Demon Slayer, and instead of just doing seasons, like anime traditionally does, they decided to break it up into movies. This is a pretty different approach to it, and I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it because I thought this would lead to like short movies where they just kind of speed run all of the content, so it'd be feeling like very underwhelming or half-baked, whereas a season gives you tons of episodes to build and then feels very satisfying when it gets to the end. I didn't know how this would pan out, but man, they cooked. I really liked Mugen Train, but Infinity Castle blows it out of the water. Not only that, it blows it out of the water and then smacks its little butt cheeks around it. This movie is incredible. Like, I know there's a big meme about Ufotable having, unlimited budget works, that kind of thing, but man, there's like some actual truth to that. I do not know how they are able to deliver this kind of quality for this long. I expected this to be a pretty short film. I knew nothing about the runtime going in. This movie is over 2 hours long, of pretty much non-stop action. The only time you have moments to breathe are when they're doing flashbacks to flesh out the character's motivation and backstory, which I can already tell some people will definitely have an issue with. I know flashbacks often get a bad rap, especially when they're used, like, egregiously. In this movie, though, I wasn't bothered by it at all. I actually really appreciated the flashbacks. It didn't feel rushed, and it was like a really, needed break in between action. You got to learn about the characters, what they've gone through, what this fight means to them, like in particular, Shinobu versus the Upper Two, Doma. Or you get Akaza's backstory, which Akaza's backstory is the longest by far, and it is the best. It is probably the best backstory Demon Slayer has shown thus far. I was really surprised by it. I loved it. I thought it was great. But I know some people will kind of roll their eyes at it because there is quite a bit of it, but I really enjoyed it, and I was very pleasantly surprised that they gave this much tender love and care to the characters. Because again, going the movie route, they reduce the amount of time they have to work with to build up these characters and get everything out that they need to make these fights meaningful. Because having just flashy fights with no, stakes and no, care about either character is lame. It's underwhelming, and it's a big matter of who gives a fuck. So the fact that they did spend this amount of time crafting that and putting that in here is really nice. And it makes me very optimistic for the next couple of films to wrap up the story. I think this was just a fucking home run. I think this was a grand salami. I think most of you know I wasn't the biggest fan of the Hashira training arc that they most recently had before this film. But now, after seeing this film, it's clear they just wanted to basically take their time to get you ready for the movie. Doesn't make the season any better in my eyes, but I can now see what they were in the lab concocting, and it really does slap. Obviously, this isn't a movie you can just go into blind without seeing any of the previous Demon Slayer seasons or Mugen Train. This is the final arc. They don't really do anything to bring you up to speed. They pick up right where the last episode left off. I appreciate that. You shouldn't go into a movie like this and expect them to give you, a lore recap, a refresher. So it's good that they dove right in and used all 2.5 hours to just go fucking nuts to butts on it. 2.5 hours of content. I really do feel like I got an entire season's worth out of this one movie. I actually really kind of like this model now, of instead of doing, seasons, maybe there is a lot of potential to just doing, movies to adapt the source material. They are proving that the method can work. I really did enjoy the way that this was delivered. Anyway, though, the visuals are beautiful. I think if you've watched Demon Slayer, you probably expect top-notch animation. You get it here. They did not cut any corners. Now, of course, Demon Slayer has always used a bit of CG in its animation, but never the wonky dog shit Berserk 2016 level CG that people absolutely unanimously spit upon. This integrates it seamlessly, and it looks really good. Infinity Castle does definitely have some CG moments that don't stick out. They look great still. I'm gonna tell you something, sports fans, something I didn't expect to ever say. I actually think their usage of CG here blended in actually elevated some of the scenes that it was present. One of the most beautiful shots in this film is when platforms are rising, when it's Akaza versus Giyu versus Tanjiro. As the platforms rise with Akaza aura farming, additional platforms rise that pour water out, and it's very clearly CG usage here with 2D. And it looked incredible. There are so many sequences that use CG that I actually think help bring it to another level. They definitively prove that any anime that uses CG and it sucks ass, like the CG in it, It's their fault. It's not the medium. It's a tool that can be used really well here in anime. And by golly, I tell you, Demon Slayer does it the best at the moment. Now, another thing I want to point out is like a superstar here is the music. Holy shit, the music was so good. Every battle has an absolute boner jam backing it. The intro especially stood out to me with its music. It almost felt like I was watching like an AMV or something. No, I guess not really like an AMV. It's not edited like that or anything, but if you've seen the movie, you probably know what I mean. Now, the story. The story is where a lot of people criticize Demon Slayer for being just very like generic and formulaic. And admittedly, yeah, it's not trying to reinvent the wheel here by any means, but it plays by the tropes well. Yes, there are moments that are definitely cheesy, but it doesn't detract from the overall experience. And like I said, it executes on the tropes very well. So, like, yes, when it's going through the flashbacks, every character is somehow connected, like, my big sister was killed by this demon, thus I need to kill this demon. I hate you, demon, for this. And then you'll learn about the demon. It's like, the demon had a troubled past as well. Like, yes, it does play out like that, like 100% of the time, but it doesn't matter. It's still, like, enjoyable. It's still a fun story. Even if it's nothing new, per se, I still think it is done well enough that it makes you care. Especially Akaza's backstory. I would argue that was done extremely well. They spent a lot of time on Akaza's backstory in here, which I will say took a lot of balls. To dedicate that amount of screen time to a flashback backstory for the bad guy in a movie. Like, you can do it in a show because, you know, maybe it takes 2 or even 3 episodes in a show, but you'll still have another, like, 10 episodes outside of that, so that way viewers don't feel like it drags or anything in there. To do that in a movie where you have significantly less time to work with and it takes up a larger percentage, it takes a lot of courage to commit to that. And I think it pays off. Like, I do think it added a lot to this to get all of that information about Akaza. It made everything feel more weighty. So I do like that direction, and I'm hoping they do more of that in the next 2 movies. I imagine they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. Now, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know, like, how much content was covered in this film, like how much they adapted here. But it felt like I got a ton of content, and it doesn't feel like it was really rushed through all that much. There's a couple instances where a few things were glossed over, I feel, in the interest of saving some time, but they did get, like, the point across, so it was still fine. But yeah, in the early parts, there were a few moments, like, in a couple flashbacks where it was, like, really quick, like with Doma. But I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world. I think overall, it really felt like everything did actually take its time, and they weren't afraid to let things sit and linger like in Akaza's backstory. I really liked the movie. I'm sure you could tell I'm fucking gushing grannies over it right now. I thought Infinity Castle was great. If you like Demon Slayer, I think you're going to be very happy with this film, and I'm really looking forward to the next ones. That's about it. See ya. So I just saw Him. This is a movie that a lot of people are clowning on. It's not doing too hot right now. People are taking their turns spitting at it. And now that I've seen it, I'd like to weigh in. Is everyone blowing it out of proportion, or is this film really as bad as everyone claims it is? Kinda. Like, it's not a good movie, but I don't think it's, like, unwatchably horrible. There was real potential here. The concept alone I find kind of fascinating. A football horror movie. There are so many elements you could explore there, from like CTE and stuff like that, and then play with the audience's perception of it. And I've seen other people mention this, but you also have like the built-in goat, where it symbolizes something more satanic, and maybe exploring like what it would mean to sacrifice everything to become the best at it. All things I feel like would be a fucking easy touchdown here for them to explore with this movie, and kind of expected them to, but it doesn't. It's a film that doesn't really have anything that it wants to get across to the audience at all. Most of the movie is kind of just like a bunch of scenes thrown together without really giving you any reason to care about, like, even the main character and what he's going through. Which is a shame, because the performances across the board are really strong, especially Marlon Wayans. I actually thought he did an amazing job as the villain here, but there's nothing like really fleshed out about it. There's nothing to care about, and there's nothing to get invested in story-wise. It's kind of a mess. And most people are saying the same thing, style over substance. And that's very true. It is a stylistically good movie. Like, it actually does show real potential. The cinematography is extremely interesting, especially when they do like these X-ray scenes. Then they get like really like visceral with it. It's very cool. Like, I actually thought they did a great job with some of like the wild scenes that they showcase, but it just doesn't go anywhere or contribute to anything. And then the second half, well, not the second half, the last like 30 minutes of the movie is dedicated to just getting rid of all of like the abstract and all of like the mystery of it and just beating home what it all is. Spoiler alert, it's like cult ritualistic shit, that kind of thing. And then it all of a sudden, all at once, just becomes like a normal Hollywood slop buffet, where it even ends with Cameron Cade, he's the main character, going on a killing spree, taking down all the bad cult members with a sword and an axe, like chopping their head off and disemboweling them. It's very goofy. And it like completely betrays everything else the movie like seemed to want to be, like very artsy and very interesting, like aesthetically. But again, like it just feels like this film didn't even know what it wanted to do with this concept. And it is a good concept, just poorly utilized. Also, I think a lot of people are extremely misled with this film. I've seen a lot of buzz about how Jordan Peele fell off. Man, is he washed? Because the marketing for him has Jordan Peele's name all over it. Like, if you didn't know any better and you were just going off the trailers, you would think Jordan Peele personally made this film with his own two hands and his own blood, sweat, and tears, start to finish, and no one else even worked on it. His name is plastered all over this film for their marketing push. But he didn't direct this movie. He is a producer of it. He had, from what I understand, no hand in the actual making of this film. He was a producer. So this is not a Jordan Peele film, but because his name is like attached to it, they decided to go hog wild with that as like its main marketing hook. It's pretty shameful. It's very misleading. So a lot of people, I think, probably expected this to be a Jordan Peele movie, but it's not at all. Anyway, though, to lay like the foundation of what the film is even really about, Cameron Cade is the next up-and-coming great. And there is a football player named Isaiah White, played by Marlon Wayans, who is the undisputed GOAT. He is the best to ever play the game. He is football, damn it. And he is on the verge of retiring, and everyone's looking to Cameron Cade to fill his shoes. He has all the makings of being the next great. But he gets attacked and gets a very severe concussion that then ruins his chances of making it to the league because he has to skip the combine. And Isaiah White decides to kind of mentor him, let him suckle from his bosom of greatness to try and, spruce him up, get him back on his feet to recover from this injury so he can be the player that he should be, that everyone expects him to be. So he takes him into like his training camp, his boot camp, which is just hell. And it's real weird and wacky. And Isaiah, he's kind of all over the place. He's on edge. He's fucking going Insano style. And he's like being tortured almost in order to like bring out his greatness. And there's people that are getting, even killed going through all of this training. And you as the viewer are left wondering, well, what's it all mean? What's it all for? And the answer is crickets. It's fucking, like, it doesn't go anywhere. At the last 30 minutes, they basically just tell you, oh, it turns out it's a cult, and they pass blood down from one generation of GOAT to the next. And this is their passing of the torch, but Isaiah doesn't want to give it up without a fight, so now they both have the blood of the GOAT in them, and one has to kill the other, and then sign the contract with the devil, basically, in order to be the next best football player. And it all happens like that. So they build up like this slow, abstract, like adventure that never really says anything. And then at the end, it just fucking vomits it all out at once. It's just kind of lame. I just think they didn't know what they wanted to do here. It felt like the writers were concussed when they were coming up with this. Like they had all of these ideas, but they didn't know how to make them work together. And at times it feels like they didn't even know what kind of movie they were making in the first place. Like it wants to be really artsy and even abstract pretty often, yet it doesn't commit to that at all. Like it completely gets rid of that by the end anyway. And even when they were in their like artsy fartsy, pinky up mode, it still wasn't saying anything. It wasn't even delivering a message. It was just feeding you chaotic scenes with like a wacky score, like a wacky background music and noise making to make it feel eerie and deep. But it doesn't actually do anything. And it feels like it wants to do everything at once. So like it's billed as a horror movie. It's not one. Like there's nothing scary about this film at all. And it doesn't try to be. But it does borrow something from the horror genre, like 2 jump scares. And then they introduce like these cultish fans of Isaiah White who only have maybe 2 minutes of screen time, where one of them comes in and tries to hit Cameron with a rock, but then she gets choked out and then thrown against the wall. Again, the idea would probably be to play off of like how, you know, sports fans will sometimes worship their favorite player. And like there's potential there to explore in a film, but this is not the one that does it. It doesn't even like begin to. It just takes like the general idea of it and shows you like a brief snippet without ever like diving into it or giving any kind of like actual commentary on it or a resolution to it. It's just, it doesn't really feel like it knows what it wanted to do with this concept. Really, the worst part about my experience with him was the meal I ate going into it. I was really hungry beforehand and I had a little time to kill, so I got a tuna sandwich and mac and cheese. A diabolical combination that made an unholy concoction in my gut that had me struggling with bubble guts throughout the entire film. And I will admit, a traitorous fart or two may have escaped my cheeks, but it seems like this movie's kind of flopping. There weren't a whole ton of people in that theater, so the auditorium wasn't exactly, you know, hitting the PU who did that or anything. It kind of just, you know, got to dissipate without disrupting many people's, you know, viewing of him. Just like fiber in my colon, the YouTube algorithm works in mysterious ways, and today it plopped out a little something special onto my homepage. A beautiful little nugget that highlighted a scam that I would have never even imagined as a possibility. A YouTuber named Falfin, whom hasn't uploaded in 6 years, came out of nowhere from the top turnbuckle and delivered a smackdown onto a nutrition brand that had a protein powder that they were hawking that isn't quite what it seems. Now, if you read the title of this video, it says this company sold cake batter as protein powder. That title is admittedly a little misleading, because cake batter is probably more nutritious than what they were parading around as protein powder and selling. It is a homemade label, and in that little screenshot there I showed you, the keen observers out there, the astute viewers, may have noticed that there's a bit of a big typo on that nutrition label. Instead of dietary fiber, it's dietati fiber. So this is not like a real label, and it actually gives me similar vibes to like the OG pink sauce shenanigans. So it turns out, we're going to go through this video together, that this nutrition brand had this protein powder that was not as advertised, and it certainly didn't have the macros that it was pretending that it did.
If you're into fitness and live in Northern California, there's a decent chance you've heard of Holmes Nutrition. Anyone that has tried Holmes Nutrition protein powder would say the following 2 things about it. 1, that it's the most delicious protein powder they've ever had, and 2, that it tastes just like cake batter. The powder itself even advertises how it's great for baking. 1 scoop has 22 grams of protein and only 3 grams of sugar, but it tastes so much like cake batter that someone got suspicious.
Now, I'm not familiar with this brand, I've never heard of it before, but it seems like it had a lot of glaze with people praising its flavor in particular. It had great macros, judging by the nutrition label. If you ignore the misspellings of dietary as well as essential amino acids, it seems as though they called them essential amino acids. But if you put that stuff aside, that pesky grammar and spelling, it all looked great. Now, real quick, why you should never ignore something like that on a label is these are extremely important pieces of information to get right. And if there are spelling errors in there, that showcases that something's a bit fishy, something's gone awry. Smells stinky. If a label isn't correctly, accurately describing what the contents are in this product that's being consumed, that can be the difference of someone getting sick. People make their decisions on things based on these kind of labels, especially when it comes to people with dietary restrictions. So, if the label can't be trusted, that could be legitimately dangerous for some individuals. This is something you don't fuck with. So, with this in consideration, so many people talking about how closely resembling cake batter the flavor profile was for this brand and how low the sugar was, there was someone on Reddit who, just like my boy George, got a bit curious and decided to send this out to lab to a lab for further testing just to confirm, like, does this actually have the macros that it says it does? Is this actually what the label is telling me it is?
This Redditor sent in 3 different flavors of Holmes Nutrition to a lab. They sent samples of chocolate cake, lemon cake, and cinnamon crumb cake to this lab, Certified Laboratories, and all 3 powders came back with the same results. Instead of 22 grams of protein, this protein powder had 21 grams of carbs instead and only 3.4 grams of protein per scoop.
Boy, howdy, that's quite a bit different than what the label says is contained in that product. It's a far cry from what's advertised with this protein powder. 3 grams of protein is shockingly low. I could fart into your mouth and you get more protein from my ass than you would from this powder. For comparison, let's take a peek at Betty Crocker, just the most popular packaged cake mix. You'll get 1 less gram of protein in the package, but if you prepare it as you're supposed to, you would actually get 1 more gram of protein from preparing a fucking Betty Crocker cake than you would from drinking a Holmes protein shake here using this. It's like the LaCroix of protein powder, where it's the idea of protein. It's so weird. Like, I cannot believe how little protein there appears to be in this product based on the lab results here. 3 grams is actually shockingly low. I know I've already said that, but I am stunned because I would think, like, even if you were trying to make some, like, misleading product here, you would think that there'd be a little more protein in that, just even accidentally. Somehow, it's like they went in there and intentionally removed all of the protein they could possibly find. Like, you could eat a handful of grass and probably get more nutrition out of that. When I went back to the original Reddit post, it seems like this was a very popular brand of protein powder, at least in the local area. For years, Holmes Nutrition has been a well-known local name, someone everyone preached about as being legit because he's friends with so many people, but recent lab results show that the product has been severely mislabeled, sold under the appearance of a higher quality protein powder than it actually contains. I personally have been buying Holmes Nutrition for over 4 years, believing I was getting a high-quality product. People I know have even picked up their protein directly from his house, trusting they were buying from someone who cared about his customers. Instead, they were handed a product that didn't come close to meeting its advertised nutrition claims. And in the comment section, both here, on the YouTube video, and even in other places like on Facebook and stuff, and other like Instagram and things, there were tons of people talking about how long they've been purchasing this product. They've been loyal to this brand for years. And when you are trying to better your health and fitness, one thing you do is keep track of things like macros. So people were buying this and working it into their daily routine as part of their macros and their nutritional goals in order to hit what they wanted, to achieve what they were setting out to achieve. But they were being misled the whole time. They weren't getting near their protein threshold that they were looking to hit. And in some cases, you could even make an argument it was hurting consumers, as you're going to see more in this video here and in the original Reddit post. Because this is incorrectly labeled, there were people buying this product that probably shouldn't have because of like blood sugar spiking and stuff like that. This is why these labels are extremely important, because someone who's like diabetic needs this information. They rely on this information so that way they don't end up putting themselves in a dangerous position by consuming something that they shouldn't. So when this product gets tested in a lab and turns out it's not even close to what's being advertised with it and the label doesn't reflect what's actually in there at all, it becomes a huge problem, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this brand sued. Honestly, huge W to the Redditor here who decided to take it upon themselves to send this out to labs to confirm if this really is what Holmes Nutrition says it is. I think that was a very important thing to do.
I've been absolutely obsessed with getting buff and working out. I was lifting at the gym 5 days a week, and of course, I was hitting my protein macros each and every day. Or so I thought. So you can imagine my absolute despair and nausea when I found out that my favorite protein powder that I had been using for years was not even protein powder at all. Just a sweet batter mix with trace amounts of protein. An egg, a single egg, has double the amount of protein than my protein powder had. The protein powder I was spending $75 per bag on.
Oof. Yeah, protein powder's not cheap. So it seems like, based on the available information here, Holmes Nutrition was like the cheapest fucking cake batter type mix you could find and packaged and then charged a fucking arm and a leg for it. She's right. A single egg is double what you were getting from the fucking Holmes protein powder. I'm giggling, but it's actually diabolical. She has been working out for a long time and believing to be hitting her protein goals thanks to the assistance of something like this protein powder. But turns out this entire time she wasn't, because she wasn't getting the protein she thought she was, because this is complete fucking phony baloney. She'd been schmeckeldorfed by Holmes Nutrition here. If I found out the protein powders I'd been using for the last decade were actually just, pixie dust or something and dirt and sawdust, I would be pissed. I would be extremely upset. And I saw a lot of other comments from people, even outside of like the potential dangers of someone like consuming this and having like a blood sugar spike or something like that because they didn't know or anything like that. Even outside of that, people were taking this and then wondering why they were plateauing or not like seeing any improvements when they were hitting the macro goals that they set out to and what should be leading to improvements, thus causing tons of confusion and wondering, well, what's going wrong, without ever suspecting that their protein powder they were relying on was actually the real culprit. It's such a fucking mess.
So, first of all, Holmes Nutrition Protein Powder is not sold in big box stores or on Amazon. It's a company created by Sacramento-based bodybuilder Bobby Holmes and his wife. It's only available on its website, holmesnutrition.com. So, how did I even find out about this protein powder in the first place? Well, the smoothies that my gym made were fantastic. So one day I peeped at the protein powder they use and I wrote it down and then went home and started buying some.
Her story is one that I saw shared by many others. Apparently, a lot of people found out about Holmes Nutrition through their local gyms that were making protein smoothies there using that powder, and people were just blown away by how great it tasted that they also wanted to find out what the fuck was this protein powder? It tasted just like cake batter, but for only 4 grams of carbs, 3 grams of sugar, 22 grams of protein. Holy shit, $75, I'm losing money not buying it. So people were then buying Holmes Nutrition protein powder. This was the gateway drug here. They believed that they had stumbled across something that was truly unlike the rest. It tasted incredible, and for only 4 grams of carbs, 3 grams of sugar, 22 grams of protein, they were losing money not giving Bobby Holmes 75 clams. Their body was withering away, shrinking and shriveling from atrophy without being fed this holy elixir that tasted just like cake batter, when really the whole time they were deceived.
So for me, I'm one of the lucky ones because this just affects my gains, but for others, this is a major health issue. The Redditor included in their post that they even saw a comment on Bobby's Instagram from someone saying their blood sugar shot up despite the label claiming low sugar and carbs. To make matters worse, in the comments, people were buying this protein for their diabetic family members that have been having issues with their glucose while taking this. And this commenter had real-time data that this protein powder was causing sugar spikes.
Now, these are just Reddit comments, so this could be as real as, my dad works at Bungie and he's gonna have you banned off Minecraft or something. But this is something that is very testable. You can monitor blood sugar spikes. And there are so many people reporting it, I'm willing to believe that that is probably accurate. The lab results are pretty conclusive. There's not a lot of wiggle room for that to be in error. And since we now know, based on that, we can't trust the label, since the label is very inaccurate, we can assume that the ingredients are not properly reflected in what is on that label. So they probably weren't able to achieve this flavor with being low sugar. We know it's not low carb. It advertised 4 grams of carbs. It's actually over 20. The sugar content is also probably higher, which she is about to dive into in just a moment. So I do think that it's probably legitimate claims here that people that were using this product were probably experiencing fluctuations in their blood sugar levels as a result of it, because they were taking it under a false pretense. They were misled thinking that it was low carb, low sugar.
The original post with the lab results were posted on Reddit on March 3rd, 2025. On March 27, they posted an update saying that Holmes Nutrition has removed all of their protein powders from their online store. So when we go to the Holmes Nutrition website, it has the following messages, starting with the bottom being the oldest. Unfortunately, we have encountered an unexpected issue with the manufacturing facility for the protein. Due to the large increase in demand, the current facility was having issues.
The message is still on the site to this day. It's been like this for many months now, and actually, a lot of customers of Holmes Nutrition found out about the potential fraud because they were Googling, where is Holmes Nutrition protein powder? And in Googling that, a lot of people found this Reddit post. So people unintentionally stumbled into this knowledge that their protein powder was severely mislabeled because they were trying to buy more of it. Now, Holmes Nutrition doesn't appear to be acknowledging it in any way, shape, or form. They're kind of plugging their ears to it, putting their head down and just saying, oh, it's temporarily off the shelves because we got to find a manufacturer. You guys just love it so fucking much that we've got to stop selling it online for now while we look for another manufacturer. That's the only reason it's not here right now. I imagine the reason for that is probably obvious. If they did say, like, whoops-a-daisy, you got us, well, we're going to have to start changing our label around to be accurate. Sorry about the inconvenience. They would be sued into fucking oblivion like that. It would be instantaneous. So their only card to play is just ignore it and hope people don't try and, like, pursue further action against them. I don't believe the story that they have to find another manufacturer now. That just seems like a convenient excuse. I don't put any stock into that being truthful. You can't trust their label and you can't trust their word, it seems.
For myself, it was either in March or April of this year, 2025, that I first noticed the products were unavailable on the website and that Holmes was citing manufacturer issues. So since the Reddit post was already up by the time I independently noticed their website, I don't have definitive data to show if the products were pulled down before the post went up or after or in response to this post exposing them. But given the timeline within the post, it seems that these messages on the site were after or in response to this Reddit post. Okay, wait. As I was editing this video, I saw this Instagram post from Diamond Tier Fitness, which is this gym in northern Sacramento, that said it's selling Holmes protein.
So it seems like while it's not available to order directly through their site, they are selling it through local gyms. And the reason for that, at least in my opinion, is that they probably have recognized that people online are a little more privy to the potential falsified nutrition label here, and thus they believe selling their inventory that they have left, which I imagine is probably sizable, they probably have quite a lot in stock, that they want to offload. They found the best way to do that would be locally doing it at these gyms where people aren't just going to stand there and start like Googling it right then and there. They'll just be like, oh, this, I'll trust the label. Since we have all been led to believe that labels are accurate, they are supposed to be 100% representative of what is actually the contents of that product. So people are most likely going to be inclined to trust it if they buy it in person, as opposed to online where they might stumble across that Reddit post. So my theory is they're selling through these local gyms because they have all of this inventory that they know they can't really sell online right now. It's a little too hot, hot tub is too hot. So they're doing it locally, hoping that people will be none the wiser and won't like look into it past like, oh, yummy, this tastes great. And that's what I think, at least.
While I was writing out this video and looking at my bag of protein powder, I noticed that the dietary and dietary fiber on the bag is spelled wrong. So this indicates that Bobby and his wife created this nutrition label themselves, which is allowed by the FDA, but does open the door for extreme inaccuracy and lack of trustworthiness in what's claimed on the label. So the FDA does not approve supplements or protein powders, so you're never going to see the FDA approved stamp on any of them. But that doesn't mean they are exempt from the FDA's labeling regulations. They still have to follow the FDA labeling laws.
That was fascinating to me because I didn't know that you could just make your own labels for the product. I knew protein powders weren't FDA approved. I think most people in the fitness space do recognize that. But I didn't know you could still just make your own fucking labels and just pull numbers out of your ass here. I mean, you can't, as you mentioned, you still have to follow, like, the labeling laws, but I still thought you couldn't even just do that as, like, you know, some goober sitting at your home computer and typing it all out. I still thought it would have to go through something a little more official for something like that.
In addition, it includes non-dairy creamer as an ingredient, but pursuant to the Code of Federal Regulations, Title 21, Section 101.4b, if an ingredient is made from 2 or more ingredients, it must declare the established common or usual name of the ingredient, followed by a parenthetical listing of all ingredients that ingredient is made of. So, this has more ingredients that make up that non-dairy creamer, like vegetable oil or possibly even dipotassium phosphate, which are common ingredients in non-dairy creamer that are just not listed in the ingredients list. Additionally, it says cane sugar as an ingredient, so we know there are added sugars, but it just lists sugars, 3 grams. The Code of Federal Regulations, Title 21, Section 101.9 specifies that added sugars must be declared separately from total sugars and include the percent daily value. So, not only is the protein and carb content completely misstated, but there are just so many problems with pretty much every aspect of the packaging.
Yeah, to me, that's kind of a slam dunk right there. There's not a whole lot of argument that Holmes Nutrition could possibly make for why they wouldn't fully list out the ingredients there that make up that creamer, nor why they didn't separate sugars and added sugars. Well, the reason they wouldn't do the added sugars is because it would look a lot worse. There's probably a lot of added sugars in there, which is how they're able to achieve that cake batter-like taste that they're so famous for, most likely. So, her looking at the ingredients there and showcasing how it's not exactly compliant with the established protocol, I think is a very strong piece of evidence that this is all fucking bogus. That what Holmes Nutrition has done here is just reprehensible. And it could be just downright dangerous. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it has opened them up to lawsuits. The lab tests are pretty hard to argue against as well, where it confirms that the protein, the carbs, all of that is just drastically wrong. So how the fuck could Holmes Nutrition even come up with an excuse? They really can't, which is why I believe they're not. That's probably why they're just radio silent and just selling locally through gyms now, it seems. Now, in the original Reddit post, they believed that the lab results indicated the presence of amino spiking. Falfin, however, disagreed with that notion, and there's a whole segment Falfin dedicates to proving why she believes it's not necessarily amino spiking here, and I highly recommend you check out her whole video so you can see her piece on that. I will, however, show you her conclusion for why she believes there's such a discrepancy between the lab results, protein, and what's listed on the bag here.
Amino spiking would still show up as protein in lab tests, so the lab test listed would not be showing only 11% protein on the results if it was amino spiked. This lab test specifically uses the Kjeldahl method, which would still read high protein. Given these facts, I disagree with the original poster that Holmes is using amino spiking. To me personally, it really just seems like we just have a complete misrepresentation of the protein versus carbs content, and that the nutrition and ingredients label is just simply wrong. I'm not a lawyer or a judge, so I can't say whether this was intentionally deceptive or just severe incompetence.
Given what she explains with amino spiking, which I wasn't entirely knowledgeable on in the protein powder space, I think she did a good job of explaining why she believes this isn't the result of amino spiking, and I agree with her conclusion that it probably is just grossly mislabeled. And while I understand it's impossible to say if it's intentionally, maliciously done this way, or if it's just them being extremely fucking stupid, like they're all just bumbling morons over there at the Holmes Nutrition HQ, I feel like, given all of the other factors at play here, to me personally, it feels like it probably is this way by design. It feels like they are intentionally trying to make this product appear as though it's something that it's not, knowing full well when people try it, they're going to love the flavor, and since they see these great macros on the back, they're going to be like a lifelong customer, as you've seen from so many other commenters and so many other people speaking up about like how betrayed they feel for years spent buying this product. So I feel like it's probably by design, but of course I can't say that with 100% certainty. But regardless, it's a huge fucking problem.
So I know this was a long video, but I just had to talk about this. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a person that is angry and wants other people to be aware of this. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening to what I have to say. I hope you have a great day and that you don't find out that you were scammed by your protein powder.
She also had a segment in here where she was mentioning other protein players in the space that were facing legal hot water, being sued because of mislabeled products, you know, that maybe didn't have as much protein as the label said. So, like, there is a precedent set where you can't just completely fucking lie about how much protein is in your product. Now, as for whether or not Holmes Nutrition is going to face any legal ramifications, who really knows? But really, this was a very interesting video. Falfin mentions she's not a YouTuber. She was just a victim of this scam and wanted to alert others to it as well. And it's not something that she's doing just trying to fish for clicks or farm a drama or something like that. She was buying this protein powder for years, wasting hundreds of dollars over the course of this period of time, and she's far from the only one. You can see tons and tons of testimonials from people claiming that they've been buying this for years, spending upwards of like $2,000 over the course of this period of time, all under the belief that this product was helping them achieve their health and fitness goals, when really the truth of it appears to be, based on the lab results, that it was actually hampering those goals. It was actively working against them. That fucking sucks. Like, that's terrible. That's a degenerate scam right there, based on all available information. So, I just found this to be so interesting. Falfin absolutely crushed it on this video here. I know she says she's not a YouTuber, but I'm curious if she's going to do any other content in the future, because this was just really well made. And hats off to the Redditor who did the initial investigating in the beginning, sending this to a lab, being alerted to the fact that something is just awry here. It's a bit fishy, and then decided to follow through on an investigation to make sure that, you know, everything was above board here. And then what they found out, they shared with, you know, the world. So that way other people weren't getting, you know, misled by it anymore. So, yeah, anyway, I just had to yap about this one. That's really about it. So, yeah. This is like the most Zoomer content I've ever fucking seen in my life.
I'm 22 and I'm the guitarist of an alternative.
We'll shred the other bays. Oh my god.
Colorblind.
Oh my god, this is so dumb.
And full fact about me is I'll go wherever LeBron goes.
Hey, what's up? My name's Albert. I'm 20 years old. I use social media and I stay lit.
Some fun facts are threw me off a little bit.
For a quirky fun fact,
Probably since I was like 13.
I like music.
Something that my ex would say about me.
A serial killer. She'd say I'm probably a serial killer.
Every single one of my relationships so far I've ended and we become friends afterwards. Mainly because when I get into a relationship, most of the time we are already.
I feel like that's going to be everyone's answer.
Whenever it ended.
I met a girl online once on Fortnite.
Friends.
I thought it was serious, but it turns out she was fucking some other dude in real life. But we're still good friends and we still duo.
That's what she would say.
I'm honest, but I be lying. But I'm honest most of the time, but I be lying. So it's like, you know, yeah. So, you know, what she would say about me is that I'm like also a liar. Yeah. I've actually
was that like, I can't tell if that was supposed to be a joke or not, but it didn't land.
I would probably rather that my future bae stays.
Stop saying bae. Jesus, how old is this?
I made this decision because
a month old.
Like, dudes, look, it's not gonna work, man. I'm sorry, Brian, but you gotta go.
It was a good try though. Like, you won, but you lost. You lost, but you won.
Yeah, it was pretty
and your
sad,
ex would say that you probably lost.
Into like the whole like smushing faces kind of thing.
Now you come kiss me on the lips and I'll tell you if Bev would like that kind of kiss.
When it comes to kissing, I'm very slow and gentle.
Tongue.
And I like to be like strong and passionate.
I only kiss on the pussy
I'd
lips.
say I'm
or
romantic
butthole.
and responsive.
Depending on the mood I'm in. I don't kiss human lips.
I just kind of go
face
with the
lips,
flow.
that is.
I'm known to do like a little lip bite, but that's it.
And I use nothing but tongue.
Saving the first kiss for marriage.
What?
But when it comes
Well,
to
you
kissing,
lost.
I'll say I'm decent at it, but
I refuse to touch a woman unless I'm getting married to her. In fact, I won't even look at you. But I'm here anyway. Let me be your bae.
Are you telling me that?
I don't really have an explanation for this one. It just didn't really sit right. So I'm sorry, man, but Steven, you're out of here.
Racist. You just don't like Redditors. Fuck you, man.
I was a bit surprised.
You're at the beach.
And you're kissing me.
Seagulls all over the
Bev's
place
somewhere,
coming
but
in.
you're kissing
They're
me.
coming in, they're stealing
What do you do?
French fries.
Option 3, let's just go in the water.
Whoa!
What about the French fries and the ice cream?
What?
French fries and ice cream, I'll just buy more.
Yes.
What?
Okay, so I would say the first option would be to buy more, just in case. You never know.
Cheater, you're copying his answer. Cheater.
You don't want
Cheater.
that. To another part of the beach, go on the water. They're not gonna come in there.
He stole 2 of the other guy's answers. Boo,
buy her more
plagiarism. Boo, boo, boo.
Number 2.
I think number 1.
I'm waiting for marriage to talk to seagulls. I'm waiting for marriage to run away from seagulls, and I would never touch water unless I'm married to it.
2.
If not the third one, we call backup.
Call back up.
Yeah.
He called the police on the seagulls.
Anyone around?
Oh, I hope that guy wins who'd call the cops on the clouds for being too cloudy or something.
I would totally like protect her first and then go buy her food, but you know, that's just me.
Okay.
You lost because it looks like you're there to sell drugs instead of fuck Bev.
I am an organ donor, and
Yeah, baby!
I don't see any
He's
point
waiting for
in
marriage to
not
die.
donating if you're-
Once I die, I can start donating my my stuff. Until I die, I won't.
That's one of the creepiest answers you could have given, to be honest. Bev's not trying to harvest the organs while you're still alive.
Organ donor.
I'm not saying it will.
I hate
but if the
whoever edited
opportunity
this.
does arise,
I hate whoever made this, to be
what
honest.
are your thoughts on having to shave
Jesus
Jeff's back?
Christ.
No.
God, everyone's so quirky. So quirky.
It takes a
Oh,
lot
the
to
XD
change my mind about
quirkiness.
things, no matter what
Such
you do.
personality. It's a beautiful big chungus.
Really like
I'll
a
chungus
solid
her
person,
back
so
with
if I
my
need to shave it
memes.
back, I'll shave it back.
I'll say that. So the massage is a good thing.
You win. Just give it to him.
I said I'll do it.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run.
I'm a butt fucker on the
I know
tree.
you're probably like, how you gonna run down the
Straight
tree?
doggy styler up there.
Don't even worry about that.
I'm an upcoming rock band, so she'll get backstage pass to everything. Who doesn't want to live the rock star life? And also, she'll
Little
get
did you
home
know that
songs
that band was Foo
Bev
Fighters.
and all her friends.
You just wanted to promote your rock band. What's its
She would have
name?
been my rock star. She
Nirvana
would have been on
V2?
stage with me all the time. I did not.
It's great.
He's a good looking dude, but...
Premarital
Premarital hug?
Hey, well, I use you because I think he
I
knows
don't
that I
care.
have a big personality and someone
God,
that
just kiss fucker. Tell me something about Jesus. I don't know.
Okay.
Are you wearing contacts?
Dr. Lupo?
No, I know that. Yeah.
That's actually quite the scandal. That might be Dr. Lupo.
Like, I probably want to see like just like an epic concert. I feel like would have been like Elton John, like in the prime.
What the fuck is Aaron gonna do? Call up Elton John to perform for you in a basement? What do you want him to do with
I'm
that?
just gonna watch that. And for more videos like this, subscribe to 17's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll pass on that for sure. Maybe if I like get hit with a younger Ray, like a de-aging Ray, and I go back to like 14 years old, I might consider subscribing to 17. But for now, I'll pass. Man, that was like super hard to sit through. Usually it's not that difficult, but that was something special. Yeah, I'm wearing a frown right now. And I know it doesn't look good on me. I don't like to frown, but sometimes I can't help it.
This is Nix. She has a crazy order.
I want a double butter burger. 2 of those, please. Family-sized curds, a large chocolate custard, concrete mixers. There you go. With that's chocolate ice cream or the chocolate custard, and Oreos and cheesecake.
It'll be $45.79. I'm a content creator. I don't know if you've heard of me before, Will Kelly. I'm sure you have.
No, unfortunately, I haven't heard of you. Sorry.
At first, I just thought this was rage bait. I kind of wrote it off as being too on the nose, too obvious that it was on purpose. Rage bait has become like a staple on Twitter and TikTok specifically because it's super effective at engagement farming. But then I took a deeper look at his page, watched a few videos on there, and I'm pretty sure he's just genuinely an asshole. This is just who he is. He has this self-importance about him now because he has a following, and he tries to spin a couple of these things positively, like, I give this food away to homeless people, which is another thing that a lot of TikTok douchebags try to do to deflect criticism. How dare you insult my cringe and my bad attitude and being obnoxious and annoying and disruptive to employees at these fast food establishments where I exploit them for my content and belittle them. Didn't you know that I gave this homeless guy a soda once? It's such a cringe tactic that they try to do. It's not actually because they're trying to do good in the world or help somebody. It's just so they can use it as a shield to deflect criticism. So I don't think that this is rage bait on purpose. He marches into so many fast food places like fucking Bubble Bass and just causes like a stir and just tries to make a spectacle out of things. At times, well, I'll show you in a second, he even goes back and like directly confronts a worker because he wasn't getting his order taken immediately upon getting in there. They didn't roll out the fucking red carpet and have pyrotechnics going off to celebrate his arrival to this fast food place. It's so fucking embarrassing.
Just me being here is like huge exposure for you, for the company, so let's make a deal. Do you really expect me to pay full price?
Unfortunately, I can't give you a discount. Sorry. She's the manager. She'll do it.
Okay.
You're good, John.
I follow him on Instagram. Like I see his videos and stuff. Like how he's inspired me through like weight loss.
I don't know how he's inspired anyone to do anything other than just turn off their phone for the day from this unbearable, insufferable cringe that he produces, but I mean, it's great that he somehow had a positive impact on that guy when it comes to weight loss, but why should that entitle him to pay less for his food? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why does he get special privileges just because he posts some shit on TikTok and Instagram that has nothing to do with the order that's being placed here? I don't even understand why he's trying to haggle with them in the first place. Why is he putting up a big stink about paying full price for this meal for a guest that he brought in? His videos always follow the same formula, like 99% of the time. He brings in another overweight person and says, "This is what I ate at 600 pounds. It's crazy." Then they go in, place a huge order, then they sit down and have a yap session, which is usually just him flirting with the guest. It's fucking miserable to watch. I'd rather watch someone steal my car than watch him flirt with more people. But that is usually how it goes. Why is he now having an issue paying for that meal? It's the entire, like, bread and butter of his fucking content. It's so cringe. And this is why I thought it was rage bait initially, because he is actually going through, like, the bullet point checklist of a douchebag influencer that everyone spits on and throws tomatoes at. Oh, just my presence being here is great exposure for you and the business. The business being Culver's, it's doing just fine without you. It's a massive business. It is also one of my favorite fast food establishments. So him going in there with this kind of behavior, besmirching the good name of Culver's, already sickens me to my core. So he goes in there, disrespects this holy ground, and just hits all of the buzzwords, goes down the checklist of shit people hate from specimen like this that have this self-entitled attitude because they have followers online. And then he just goes through it one by one. Oh, exposure for you, exposure for the business is huge. My presence here, you're so lucky. What a privilege you get to take my order, that kind of thing. And it just feels like it's on purpose. But again, after like looking more into him, I think he is just this much of a douchebag.
I'm inspiring, Michelle. Let's work together here.
We can give you a 10% discount.
This is really what you get when you're here?
I eat this every time. There's a reason, I mean...
Alrighty.
You want a drink?
Huh? No, I don't eat this poison anymore.
Oh. They just gave you a 10% discount and you're just right in front of them calling it all poison. Very classy, Will. So they do eventually just concede. They don't want to deal with this man-child anymore. They just say, alright, here's 10%, and then he hits a little shimmy. He just gets so gleeful, which is over the top and performative for the sake of the spectacle, the fucking circus that he's putting on here, where he's the main nose-honking clown for it. And even though it feels like it could be rage bait by design, I just don't think it is after looking more into his shit. And also, you can even see it kind of in the way that he treats someone who's being very positive about the impact he's had on their life, which again, is against all conventional wisdom. There's nothing that this guy has produced that I could ever see being inspirational to anyone other than just not wanting to end up like him because he's a fucking insufferable loser. But this guy at Culver's said that he knows this guy's content and it helped him with weight loss. And you know how Will responded to it? By just shaking his head, disregarding it entirely, and then trying to leverage that as a way of benefiting himself financially where he doesn't have to pay full price for the meal. He says verbatim, after that guy gave a pretty heartfelt endorsement like, hey, this content meant this to me, Will then just says, you see that, Michelle? I'm inspiring. So let's work out a deal. Like he's fucking Rick from Pawn Stars. So he completely disregards that guy's appreciation of his content. He doesn't even give you a thank you. He doesn't even really look at the guy. He completely ignores him. Instead just shakes his head and then instantly goes into trying to capitalize off of that like we got a new bargaining chip, so I'm definitely not paying full price, right? Look, this employee over there likes my shit. So come on, what are we doing here? Obviously he likes my shit. You're weird for not knowing me, Michelle. Especially all the exposure I'm going to bring you on a personal level. You can be the guy that gave me my order. You took my order, and people are going to throw flowers at you going down the street. You're the lady from Culver's that took Will's order? Holy shit. See, that's what I could do for you, Michelle. Like, that's his attitude. That is actually how he behaves, with or without cameras, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm changing my life.
Okay, that's
Okay,
valid.
please don't tempt me, okay? I need a support
should I
system
tempt
next.
you? Alright.
Santiago's not real. He's the man behind the camera. Don't speak to Santiago.
Them.
Huh? Oh, them, of
Do
course.
not talk to I talk to the camera all the time.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're not talking to the cameraman. He's not human to us.
No, he's just a tripod.
We're on the same page here. Say forget Santiago.
Forget Santiago. Who's he?
Nobody.
This is something I've been making a habit on calling out, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's important people realize that these kind of fucking dweebs, these kind of twerps, are not able to do what they do by themselves. It's not a one-person show, even though they are the main protagonist clown that appears in the content doing all the garbage. There is always a cameraman. In this case, we get his name. His name's Santiago. And they are now just humiliating him here, just insulting him. He's not human to us. Fuck that guy. That guy's a loser. Santiago sucks, pussy, that kind of thing, as he's filming all of it. And I'm sure he's in on the joke, but Santiago, do you get paid for this? Does Will pay you? I doubt it. These kind of worms, these scumbags, do not pay their camera people usually. And especially given Will's attitude, I bet he has convinced Santiago to do this for exposure dollars. Santiago, this is gonna blow your socials up, man. We're gonna make sure you also have a career as an influencer too. Yeah, I'll hold the camera when you start to blow up as well, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you're gonna do this for me, right? For free? I'm sorry, not free. For all the clout that you get to suckle from my fucking bosom, right? I thought so, Santiago. And we're going to insult you a lot, by the way. That's going to be like our main thing. You're going to be like our spittoon. And don't worry, it's all in good fun, Santiago. I bet he's doing it for free. And if that is the case, then that's some real cuck shit, Santiago. All of these fucking TikTok influencer pranksters and shit like that do this same thing where the cameraman becomes the one they feel really comfortable insulting. And they just take it. And they get nothing out of it. They get no money. He's definitely not splitting the ad revenue. That never happens here. And I doubt that he's getting paid a salary for it. I doubt that he's getting paid per video that he films. I bet he gets nothing for it. And that shit is just as cringe as Will himself. Have some self-respect.
Next.
Yes.
I'm a bigger man. Mm-hmm. You've noticed this.
I have.
Do you find me attractive?
I do. Oh, hi. Hello.
I want to serve you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a lot of food. We're going to get back to it later. I'm getting my Mac game on.
Gotcha.
You understand? Thumbs up. Shout out to Denise.
Yeah.
Now let's look at this food. Shredder, you was really eating this?
I won't torture you with their conversation, but this is how like all of it goes, where he starts to activate the Riz Sharingan online, Riz mode engaged. That kind of shit. It fucking sucks. I hate his voice too, by the way. His voice sounds like a fucking Ben 10 character on Helium. I can't stand the way he talks, and I'm pretty sure that's not his actual voice. I think that is something that he puts on for the sake of being like grating and over the top.
Whenever it's negative, everybody has something to say. Give me my flowers on my positive, bro. Give me my flowers. I've been going viral this week. A bunch of people have been reacting to my Culver's video, saying, who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? Will Kelly, bro.
Whoa, dude, that went so hard, bro. I'm Will Kelly. Damn, oh my lord. That mic drop moment. Chills. Literal chills. Gave me goosebumps, Will. I hate this mentality where assholes like this do inevitably get talked about for some like dog shit. Specifically the Culver's thing is what's blown up for him right now. People are making fun of him for it, insulting him for it. And it's so common for these main characters to start yapping about like, oh, why does no one ever give me my flowers for all the positive stuff I do? You must have missed the video where I went and gave a homeless guy a sip of my smoothie and then gave him $1. I saved his life and no one's talking about it. And in this one, no one's talking about my incredible weight loss, all this weight that I've lost recently. No one's giving me all my positive flowers there. I'm a force for good, not evil, even though the vast majority of what he does is disruptive trash. So they always fall back on like, here's like a couple of good things I did that obviously I filmed, because if I didn't film it, I can't profit from it, I can't benefit from it. So I'm using it as a shield and no one's talking about it. You can't insult me, by the way, because I did all this good stuff. I'm positive, baby. They always do that shit, and I'm so tired of it.
Will Kelly is who I think I am, dog. Will Kelly, that's who. I just lost 50 pounds in 2 months. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant. I'm the only innovator in my niche. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant. All the fat boys losing weight have copied my style of video. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant, bro. I got reasons to be, honestly. For the people who hate and just want negativity, get it off. I know you will anyway. I'm not tripping about it. I promise you I'm not.
Yeah, nothing says not tripping about it, unbothered, don't care, quite like having a whole rant and raving session about it, huh? Really don't care, do ya? Now, if I may, I'm gonna try and plant a little seed up there and see if I can get those neurons to activate, give you a little something to ponder. Why do you have a reason to be arrogant? Why not just be happy about your own improved health on this weight loss journey? Why do you have to be an asshole about it? It's not a requirement. You don't need to be. You're choosing to be. Because you are just an asshole, bro. Like, and he's also talking about innovating. You haven't innovated shit, man. This formula existed before you. This is like the most standard shit ever. He goes into restaurants, orders a lot of food, and sits down and yaps. Brother, what did you innovate? Nothing. All you did is come up with your own catchphrase of, this is what I ate at 600 pounds. It's crazy. That shit sucks. That's a flop. That is a full-blown fucking blunder. There is nothing you've done that is innovative. And there's nothing you are doing that I think would warrant this kind of attitude. The way it comes across is that he was fishing for any kind of excuse to express his inner douchebaggery. Like, I've lost 50 pounds. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant. I have reasons to be, honestly. Fuck that, man. How about just not being an arrogant asshole? How about just not being a fucking loser about it and using it as maybe something inspirational? Like that guy at Culver's who somehow did find, buried deep in this trash, something motivational for his own personal health journey. And instead of like engaging with that, he instead just doesn't even look at him, gives him a side eye like, see that? Inspirational. Now, where's my money saved on this order? By the way, I'm a big deal.
Yeah, Jamba Juice when I was over 600 pounds. It was crazy. Let's check it out. All right, guys. Today, we are at the legendary Jamba Juice. I actually have a Jamba Juice song. Jamba Juice, juice, juice. Jamba Juice, juice, juice. Jamba Juice, juice, juice. Jamba Juice. Do that anymore? I just order the food and give it away. Let's see what I used to get. Sure do wish I could get some service.
Huge Baby Shark cover there, awesome stuff, banger. And he goes on about like what he used to order, and now he just orders it and gives it away. And then he's getting upset because he's not getting any service. Open your eyes, Buster. You are literally leaning on the kiosk that says to order and pay there. Holy shit, you dummy. And I bet it had only been like 45 seconds of him standing there. And then he immediately just gets rambunctious. Oh, I'm not getting any service. Where's the manager? This is outrageous. So he starts to walk back behind the counter to find someone to take his order, even though he was literally stationed right in front of the place where he places the order. If he didn't duct tape Santiago's mouth shut, I bet he would have piped up and said, hey man, you order right there. But perhaps he put the fear of God in Santiago where he's afraid to speak out. I don't know. But this is so cringe, man.
Excuse me, sir. What's going on, man?
Yo, bro, you can't be back here.
Oh, we can't. Oh, my bad. I was just wondering if you could take my order.
Yeah, but I'm doing stuff, so you gotta wait. Like,
all right, yeah, no, I'll wait.
Nah, but what you, like, can't just be walking back here.
All right, bro, I'll go back over there. I do it whenever I'm not getting my order, man. I'm doing it whenever I'm not getting my order. I literally was just telling you I'm up here waiting. Bro, I'm over here now. We good.
You slimy greaseball. He goes back there with the cameraman, making sure to point it at the worker, berating him. Oh, I just do this when I'm not getting my order. I always do this when I'm not getting my order. Did you know I was up there for like 15 seconds? Dude, where were you? It was a ghost town in here. What do you mean I'm supposed to order at the thing that says to place your order there? No, that can't be right. This is your fault. This is your fault. You're a bad person for making me wait. Don't you know I'm trying to do incredible things in the world right now? And you are hindering that journey.
I don't even gotta take your order, but like, why are you coming back here like that?
Dog, I'm back over here. We good. Got his attention. Oh, we can order on the pad, bro? Oh, okay. My bad, man. It's just you working, bro? Yeah, I feel you. Clearly hates his job. I just made his job more difficult. Kinda feel like a jerk. Kinda don't care.
You're so tough, man. Holy shit. Bro just doesn't care that he made his job worse because Will gets content out of it. Huge exposure for that guy, by the way. I bet he's going to see this video and be so thankful that Will did this for him. I bet that's so awesome. Bro, Will really is a saint. You see the way that he marches back there with the camera guy and then just makes his day worse, this guy who's working at Jamba Juice, and making sure that he can use this for the maximum amount of juice for the squeeze for his content. Will, buddy, what a guy. So cool.
I get the mango go. I love the mango go. Okay, I get the large mango go. I really hope the guy that back there. You know what, bro? He can spit in my drink if he wants to. All right. I was thinking like he seems pretty peeved. He might want to spit in my drink or something like that. If he spits in my drink, I'm not drinking it. You feel me? But maybe I shouldn't give it to a homeless person. Maybe I skip that this time. I think maybe. This is the chocolate waffle, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a ball. Sorry.
Nah, it's cool. My order was wrong. Am I gonna make a fuss about this? No, because I've already done way too much in this establishment. I'm glad I'm not the old Will Kelly.
True, we're all thankful you're not the old Will, because the establishment wouldn't have survived. He would have burnt this bitch to the ground. He would have completely dismantled this place like he was Godzilla in there, just ravaging it for getting his order wrong. But if I may, Will, why do you care that the order's wrong if you're giving it away? You're not eating it. Why does it matter if the order's wrong? Why are you going to have them go and fix it? That seems unnecessary. If the whole point is, this is what I used to eat when I was 600 pounds, but now I don't. This is going to be given to someone that's hungry out there, a homeless person. If that's the case, Will, why make a fuss about the order being wrong? You even say that you're not going to make a big deal out of it, but you are having them fix your order and you are annoyed that they got it wrong. Doesn't really make sense now, does it? That doesn't pass the smell test. Are you eating it, Will? Is this for you? And you're just pretending to give it away? Not really sure. I don't understand why you'd be upset about that, though. But anyway, he went on about, like, how unhealthy and how sugary and how many calories these things actually are, which, he's right, they are a lot of calories. And it's not like a secret. You can see the amount of calories when you're placing these orders in a lot of places. I'm not super familiar with Jamba Juice. But basically what he's doing is like the lowest form of like, look, all this food that I was eating turns out was bad for me. Insightful. Truly insightful. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering about his bad attitude. That's about it. See ya. Jinkies. So, Highguard. Huh? What's the deal with salt shakers, am I right? It's not good news on the front of Highguard. There has been an announcement, and maybe an announcement's not the right word to use. It's not really accurate to say that. There have been some LinkedIn posts from former Wildlight employees. Wildlight is the studio behind Highguard, mentioning that most of the staff has been laid off at the studio following the release of Highguard, which only came out about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks appears to be like the curse, because Concord had something very similar where it only had a lifespan just barely longer than a mosquito, where it had completely shut its doors in about 2 weeks. It barely even was able to open its eyes after its birth. It seems like 14 days is the magic number that big budget games are given to either blow up or blow out your ass. It's like in The Ring, you know, where you get that phone call saying you're going to die in 7 days, but in the video games industry, you get 14 days. You're going to die in 14 days, it seems. Now, in Highguard's case, they actually had put out a whole year-long roadmap, which made a lot of people believe more heavily in them committing to the long term of growing this, expanding it, and trying to make it flourish and find a player base. And make no mistake, this game did have a successful launch. The day this puppy came out, 100,000 curious sports fans hopped in there to check it out, but as of right now, there's just over 2,400 playing, which isn't really like the smallest potatoes ever. 2,400 concurrent players with nearly a 4K 24-hour peak is pretty decent for a lot of games, but given the scope of this project and the size of the team, it looks like they're closing the doors on a lot of the employees here. I don't know if that means they're looking to shut it all down or if they're looking to just downsize because they can't justify the spend any longer. I'm not entirely sure. That remains to be seen, but it's certainly not looking good for the future of Highguard, which unfortunately I don't think a ton of people were surprised by. A lot of people kind of predicted that this might happen. I don't think anyone read this shocked. Like, I don't think there was anyone like eyes wide open, jaw on the floor, stunned by this news, because releasing a game like Highguard in the current saturation of this market, it's kind of a death sentence. Like, those guards must be high to be expecting this to be like a massive success that blows everything else out there and finds its own footing off rip. That was always going to be an uphill battle. It's very difficult to get gamers to switch from their comfort game to your game in the same genre. They might go check it out, but most likely they're going to go back to the game that they've spent the most time with, the one they're most accustomed to. The most notable example that completely bucks that trend is Marvel Rivals, where it entered into an extremely saturated genre, fucking hero shooters. That should have been dead on arrival, death sentence, bury that shit in the dirt. But thanks to the power of the Marvel IP, where so many people are so passionate about Marvel itself, and also the developers diverting tons and tons and tons of resources to just churn things out really quickly, very high quality, very quickly, and also the timing they entered the market where Overwatch was starting to flounder and people were hungry for something to replace it, Marvel Rivals just had all the stars align, and now it is successful, and it did carve out its niche. Highguard didn't have those luxuries. People were even confused on what Highguard was in the first place. They announced at the Game Awards and then went fucking radio silent crickets for a whole month. People thought it was a hero shooter. I thought it was a hero shooter. A lot of people thought it was fucking Concord 2.0. There were so little things to know about it, so it was hard for people to get hype and buy into this idea of Highguard in the first place when they weren't even talking about it. So when the game came out, and in my opinion was okay, like I don't think it's a great game, I don't think it was a bad game, it was just kind of an alright mid-game, so it was always going to struggle retaining a player base. People tried it, they were lukewarm on it, some people hated it, some people did like it, but it was always going to be tough to get them to stick with it long term, especially if the developers don't seem willing to. Like, these layoffs don't inspire confidence, so there's 2,400 people playing it right now, and I imagine they really like it to still be playing it. And they did add things to it, like the 5v5 mode, so it seems like there is a willingness to try and, like, flesh it out. But with these layoffs, it seems like the future's uncertain, and who knows, you know, maybe down the line they could have carved out a unique identity for it. It did have some unique ideas, like with the base rating, so like maybe there's a what if there, and again, they haven't announced that they're shutting down or anything. They haven't fully turned the lights off over there, so perhaps it's still in the cards, but I just don't understand why it feels like no one at these companies internally is putting their thinking caps on. It doesn't feel like they're being realistic. Because this was a very likely outcome that most people were kind of expecting to unfold here. So why are they already laying off people after only 2 weeks? Why wouldn't you go into a project like this with a longer runway? Like, look, we might be bleeding players for a couple months, and that's okay. Like, we have allocated budget to account for that as we look to try and find our community and build this game with the players. Like, they're already doing mass layoffs after just 2 weeks. So it seems like they were expecting this to just fucking explode and be the next Marvel Rivals or the next Call of Duty or something. Like, who really knows what the expectations are anymore at these companies? It just surprises me how quickly games will come and die. Anyway, though, taking a look at the LinkedIn here, this comes from someone named Alex Grainer. Unfortunately, along with most of the team at Wildlight, I was laid off today. This one really stings as there was a lot of unreleased content I was really looking forward to that I and others designed for Highguard. However, I'm excited for my next adventure. If your team or anyone you know needs an experienced level designer, hit me up. Check out my portfolio here to see what I've done the last 7 years as a level designer in the AAA space at alexgrainer.com. Cheers. The way that Alex writes about it on LinkedIn sounds like most of the team at Wildlight has been laid off, and then he said how disappointed he is because there is unreleased content that they were excited for, meaning that it feels like that unreleased content is never coming. So my impression is that these layoffs are in preparation for shutting it down, especially when you also look at Josh Sobel's post. Today I was laid off from my job at Wildlight along with most of the staff. Once again, echoing that same sentiment that most of the staff has been laid off. You can't run a game like Highguard with most of the staff gone, and this was the lead tech artist. So this is like a pretty big position, it feels like. It was the best team I've ever worked with, and I've never put so much of myself into a project before. I wouldn't trade the past 2.5 years for anything. And then he goes on to talk about his experience, so if anyone has, you know, a need for his expertise, to please reach out about it. To me, this feels like the end of Highguard, more like Byeguard, because it's saying goodbye here. It feels like these posts make it pretty clear that most of the staff has been laid off, and that it's likely winding itself down for that next step. It feels like it's in that stage where it's probably closing its doors. But I could be entirely wrong. It's just the statement about the unreleased content that's not coming, these layoffs, most of the staff gone, as well as like a position like fucking lead tech artist. I mean, it'd be tough to keep the game going with basically no one left at the company, right? You would think. Anyway, though, this isn't something that I think is worthy of celebration or anything. I wish Highguard was better and performed better so that way they could keep chipping away at something and maybe make something special eventually. Like, take, for example, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky came out to nothing but booze. Just an absolute flood of booze, trash, and look what happened over the years. They worked so hard to make an extremely special game, and now No Man's Sky is a fucking masterpiece, right? I'm not saying Highguard was ever going to be able to do that, but I would just like if these games, they actually were willing to stick with it for a while to at least see what they could do with it. I was very pessimistic about the game going into it because it didn't seem like a game that I was going to enjoy all that much. I tried it and it was okay. It's just kind of a meh thing, but who knows? Maybe if they really committed to it, they could have made something great out of it. Now, I don't think we'll ever really know, because it seems like these companies are more than willing to spend unfathomable amounts of money, millions of dollars, to develop a project like this, and then just close it in 2 weeks, just let it die, lay everyone off, say, well, that was a failure of an experiment, it is what it is. I would prefer if these games came out and were good. I don't like to see all these people losing their jobs. That sucks. And it's not like the developers were the ones that cooked the idea here. I imagine that came from a higher level position. Most people could tell you, you got a real tough battle ahead of you, a real war to fight if you're trying to carve out a strong community in a genre this full that Highguard was competing in. Like, it's just, I feel like it should have been obvious, but I think so many people in the games industry at the highest level of the food chain just are delusional. Like, it is what it is, man. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to yap about this a little bit. I do think it won't be long now before we see Highguard saying that, they're going to be closing it in the near future. But maybe not. Maybe they are going to run this with a skeleton crew at Wildlight. As I was rendering this video, Wildlight Entertainment put out a statement saying, "Today we made an incredibly difficult decision to part ways with a number of our team members while keeping a core group of developers to continue innovating on and supporting the game. We're proud of the team, talent, and the product we've created together. We're also grateful for players who gave the game a shot and those who continue to be part of the community." So, it seems like, based on this, that maybe they aren't looking to shut it down. They're just looking to maybe cut expenses, save some money on the bottom line because the player base has dwindled so much. That's pretty surprising, I'm not going to lie, because from some of the positions I've seen here, they seem to be pretty high-level positions. So, pretty interesting and honestly pretty surprising, but all power to them if they are going to actually stick with it with their core developers here to keep carving out its own unique identity. I guess we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I mean, assuming that this is correct, seems like it's not goodbye, guard. It's more of a see you later, guard. Oh, hi, Mark. I don't know. Anyway, that's the Highguard update. That's really about it. So yeah. You remember a while ago when Overwatch blew up, so every company on the planet tried to bite that bosom and make their own slop-ass hero shooter and flooded the market with garbage? That exact same phenomenon's happening right now with human beings on TikTok. Every single day, there is a new broccoli hair prankster or 3D printed looks maxer that just spawns in, gets a following, and then snowballs from there. And today I just learned about a new one named Hulo, who is a looks maxer that is now facing 15 counts of possession of child pornography, all of which he has publicly admitted to. They have pretty much irrefutable evidence based on what's available, and that's only what's publicly available, not even everything they submitted to police. And despite all of that, there are still oodles of people defending him, even though he has publicly confirmed that the evidence is accurate about his purchasing and possession of child sex abuse material. There are still these revolting mosquitoes, these flies that are attaching themselves to Hulu or Hullo, it's probably not Hulu. The streaming service probably would have cease and desisted him if that was his name. Hulo, whatever it is. They're still attaching themselves to his butthole to suck his farts and fight tooth and nail for his honor, even though he has admitted to these unforgivable crimes. That's the state of things right now. It's sickening. I talked about this same thing happening like with David, how the Dipshits for David movement is still defending him, saying he's been framed, even though there is so much evidence publicly available and the case is still ongoing and not looking good for him. They are still willing to die on this hill that David's innocent, and now in this case, Hulu is a good guy and he deserves to be defended. I'll start here before going over Gideon's investigation of it. He has been arrested, and here is all of the charges he is facing here. Now, based on some of the reports I saw, this could carry up to 25 years in jail if he's found guilty on all of these, but it also varies from the different sources I read from. It's a long time in jail here. And the fact that they have these charges against him, the possession of this material, means that they probably have evidence of it. Outside of just Gideon's video where he admits to it, I imagine they have something far more solid, because they wouldn't... Think about all of the other, like, predator catchers, where they do get the pedophile to admit to things, and that becomes inadmissible. There's a lot of times where that can't be used. So you don't see them ever get these kind of charges. The fact that he has 15 counts of this means that they probably do have very solid proof that he had this material.
This is just one of the Telegram messages that he was talking to. Just one. So, as you guys can see first, he messaged first. He said, "Hi, this is what the trader said. CP, teens, and all group links available. Which package are you interested in, and what's your budget?" He said CP, $25 max.
So, to give you a bit of context here, like the lore, his ex found out what he was purchasing, the CP that he was purchasing, and then Gideon found out about that because of her blowing the whistle on it. Then they teamed up as well as predator poachers. They went to the police, they submitted the evidence, and then also publicly started to out some of the evidence so that way people could see it and stay away from him. And I've talked about this a lot. I think when it comes to shit like this, putting it out in the public is extremely important. Making sure that it doesn't compromise the authorities' investigation on it, but also alerting the community so they can stay safe as well and avoid these kind of fucking monsters. So I totally understand that approach. And what you were seeing there is some Telegram messages. Gideon goes through a lot of them. This is him trying to purchase CP for $25, and this became a meme in his community, as well as like a couple other looks maxers made it like a joke to try and water it down and like sterilize it, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, haha, $25 for cheese pizza, which they all keep calling it on TikTok. So he even posted like a 5x5 joke about it.
So his manager, who I will be outing later, is purposely telling his client to make jokes about him buying CP, CSAM. That $25 he spent $25 to watch and jack off to children's innocence being taken away. And he knows he did that, yet he posted this meme.
Evil shit, man. This guy is purchasing videos of children being raped and then making a meme out of it. And apparently at the direction of his manager. It's actual demon shit.
He said hi, they said hi, CP content available, and he says how much.
More Telegram messages get posted that show him cruising these telegrams attempting to purchase CP. So Hulu, I'm just gonna call him Mason. His real name's Mason. I don't know how the fuck to say his stupid handle online. So Mason was going around trying to purchase all of these videos and did successfully buy them, and was then confronted directly where he just started singing. He just started squealing and confirming all the evidence was true.
You guys can defend him all you want. You guys can make all the memes and jokes and all that. But keep in mind, this man has a 10-year-old sister and an infant sister as well. And listen to what he admitted.
Like that you saw?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I guess.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask you straight up, because you've been straight up with us. You're going to be straight up with this too. Did you masturbate with those videos of 12-year-olds? Or was your hand rubbing your penis at the time that was being watched?
It was just, I guess my hand was on my dick like the whole time. I'm just going through everything.
Okay. So was your hand going up and down on your penis?
Yes.
Okay. So it's fair to say that's probably masturbating.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you being honest about that, dude.
On camera, openly admits to masturbating to videos of 12-year-olds being sexually abused, and the Hulo is innocent gang doesn't care. He is then asked again if the allegations are true, and he confirms they are. That he downloaded those videos, he claims he deleted them. Also, it says he, told the police. When directly confronted, he openly admits to it. And it's all on camera. And now he is being charged with 15 counts of this. And still, people are defending him. In Gideon's own chat there, you could see a lot of people saying he's not a bad guy, free him, it's not that big a deal, that kind of thing. You can literally see it in Gideon's own chat. And then on TikTok, his community is standing beside him 100%. As if it's, some kind of mistake that he made that he'll learn from. That's not a mistake. That is pure evil. He is buying videos of children being raped for his sexual pleasure. He apparently tried to say that he was in a dark place when he was doing it, but now he's a changed person, so people are like, oh, he deserves a second chance. No, we can't let his life be ruined over this. He was just in a bad spot. Do you know how many people are in a bad spot that don't turn to paying money to watch videos of children being raped so they can jack off to it? That's not an excuse. That's not a justification. It is pure demonic evil shit. And people are just giving him a pass and fighting tooth and nail for him. They got their fucking shield up going to bat for him like white knights to defend Hulo. Even though he openly admits to it, he is being charged. They're pursuing 15 counts of possession of the child sex abuse material, and still people don't care. They think that this isn't that big of a deal, and that, well, he was in a dark place, so we can't be mad at him for it. They're not even saying that he's innocent, that he didn't purchase these and watch these. They're not even saying that. They are saying they don't care that he did. It's just unhinged, man. It is actually scary. Because it's not a small amount of people. It's not. It is not a small number of people. I know you can always point to these fringe outlier freaks that'll defend anyone and anything. But here, you can find a ton of them. Go to any post that's talking about this, or go to any video, or go to some of the communities. There's even some people in the Looksmaxing community that are going to bat for him. You can find so many people defending him. It's just, I just cannot wrap my head around how we even got to this point. I don't get it. I don't get it. There is just nothing that is just universally condemned anymore. There isn't. Even just objective evil like this no longer gets a complete condemnation from human beings. Sanity is just devolving. It's scary. It is completely unhinged. Anyway, I just wanted to yap about this. I think it is a great thing that he is being charged with all of this. He's a fucking disgusting monster. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. Today I got an email that really kind of enlightened me on a certain subject. It was a nice email, but it started with a, "Hey Charlie, one of the few females here that watch your content." And I threw my arms up in the air and had a little bit of a giggle. Haha, it's a good joke, but I'm sure a lot of women watch my content. If I had to spitball it and throw out a ballpark figure, I'd say maybe 30% female to 70% male. So I decided to investigate a little further to find out the exact number. So using YouTube's advanced demographic analytics, I found that it is a remarkable 8% female viewers. That's not great. That's not ideal. Brazilian fart porn has more female audience than I do. But it sounds about right the more I think about it. In fact, that's probably more than I should expect with the kind of content I make. It's often testosterone fueled for big muscly men like me. I make videos talking about the first time I tried to suck my own penis. So it really does make sense that it's kind of low. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video for the 8% that are watching. What do women like on YouTube? I'm really not sure, clearly, but I do know that they like Jeffree Star's makeup. So I went out to Ulta and I bought Jeffree Star's newest palette, I think. I don't know, just I saw a Jeffree Star thing and I bought it. And this is going to go out to the 8%. I'm going to do my first makeup tutorial. So let's get right the fuck into it. So here I am introducing the palette. I'm recording the audio after the fact because I record these videos on my iPhone. So the audio quality sounds like shit, as if I'm talking to you through a walkie-talkie underwater. Now, I didn't know this going into it. In fact, I didn't know until after I finished and my girlfriend finally told me that this is not like a general makeup kit. This is all eyeshadow. I didn't know that, so keep that in mind when watching this. Now, it comes with this cool little mirror. I didn't use the mirror very much, but I could see it being useful. Like, if you squat over it, you can get some, like, really good shots of your taint, and you could really see what's going on down there. But I really don't see myself using it other than for that purpose. I can see why people would, though. For beauty on the go, I could imagine it'd be great for traveling. Now, I also like how each of these flavors has their own little name. For example, the first couple all say, "Welcome to my channel," each word being a different color. I think that's very nice. Now let's get into it. Now, I asked myself, what would Jeffree Star do? Keep in mind, I don't know much about makeup application techniques, so I'm kind of just using this little paintbrush here that I found downstairs and kind of just slapping it on my nose. I didn't know much about makeup in general going into this, and I don't know much about makeup now after finishing it and getting my feet wet, but I wanted to ask myself what would Jeffree Star do in this situation, so I went for really bold approaches with my makeup, because like the back of the box says, he's all about bold statements. So that's what I tried to make here. However, the silver wasn't really, showing as prominently as I wanted it to. I was hoping I could look like Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob when he's the lifeguard. I wanted it to fucking glow, but I couldn't quite get that effect. So I gave up on the silver and I moved on to what was called Millions in the palette, which just looks like a glittery gold. I thought maybe I could apply the glittery gold to my overall base face and then maybe carve out a nice little color, a nice contrast on my eyes for the shadow. It didn't really work out as intended because, again, using the brush to apply the glittery gold, it just wasn't getting it on thick enough. I really wasn't feeling the full effect. I wanted to look like someone had just robbed Fort Knox and stolen gold and then painted their face with it. I was trying to look like Austin Powers Goldmember's wet dream, but I wasn't getting that effect with the brush. So I graduated from that and moved on to something a little more heavy duty. I was using a cotton pad. And let me tell you, this bad boy was really getting the job done. This bitch was working overtime. I was putting healthy dollops of this glittery gold on my face, and that shit was sticking like glue. When I felt pretty confident that the gold layer I'd put on my face was really showing nicely, I began working on my eyeshadow. I wanted something to contrast with the gold, so I grabbed a very bold pink. Now, it's worth noting, I don't know which palette this is exactly, because on the box it says Morph. I don't know if that's the brand or who publishes it, because someone at the store said this is the Jawbreaker palette, so I'm just really confused on what Pokemon I have here. But anyway, whether it's the Morphology, the Jawbreaker, it doesn't really matter, because I really committed to this pink, and I just, due to my inexperience, I couldn't really get it on the eye the way I wanted to. I couldn't cover the whole eye. So it just looks like Ed at the end of Ed, Edd n Eddy after one of his Jawbreaker scams goes awry and the cul-de-sac beats his ass. I just look like I've been into a fight and my shit's been handed to me. I also had the stupid fucking idea of putting green into it to try and make it look like a G.I. Joe or something where I'm wiping camouflage on me, but it ends up just looking like fungus as if my bruise has been infected, so that didn't really help with the look overall. So then I just gave up on that and I went back to pouring gold on my face. I know I called this a makeup tutorial, but it's more like a makeup review and how not to apply it. I kept throwing this gold on here, and I had to put a lot of force behind it to get it to stay, and the problem is there's glitter in the gold, obviously, and that glitter is really fucking abrasive. It's like running little pieces of broken glass across my skin, but I really committed to it because I was pretty impressed with the way that it looked, and by the time I was done, I looked like the bronze kneecaps. I look like one of those street performers that spray paints themselves gold and pretends to be a statue, if that performer fell into actual liquid gold and then someone dumped glitter on their corpse. I then thought to myself, anyone can throw glitter gold eyeshadow on their face, that doesn't take a whole lot of talent, so let's try and do something a little different by adding a different color. And it just became another one shade of this color. I grabbed a really harsh pink and it didn't blend as well as I thought it would, and I may have gone overboard because by the time I was done I looked like Red Skull from Captain America. I looked like someone had peeled off all the skin on my face. I was indistinguishable from a third-degree burn victim. I looked like a victim in one of those horrible New Zealand PSAs, like, you know, the fucking work safety ones, except this safety one would be about wearing sunscreen. I looked like Kirby got into a knife fight. I looked like a piece of bubblegum got sunburnt. But by far the worst part of this experience was trying to get all of this off. It took me a lot of scrubbing in the shower, and by the time I think I got it all off, I couldn't tell if I still had the pink-red shit on my face, or if my skin was bleeding. But overall, I'd say the palette has a lot to offer anyone of pretty much any taste, whether you want to use it as eyeshadow or just... You should really only use it as eyeshadow, as what I'm learning from this experience. There's a lot of different touches in there. So in my now professional makeup review opinion, I'd give it a solid 10 out of 10, to be honest. That's it. See ya.